Sorry, my freaking thumb would not hit the right button. It was buttoning and buttoning and buttoning. My wife has the same complaint sometimes. Anyway. So, hi everybody.
Well met.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's not going to come back to haunt me ever. Nope. The internet is not forever. Don't believe what anyone says. This will go away. This will be fine.
Oh boy.
Well, then we've done our part. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in and joining us tonight. It is Wednesday. I have had 2 hours of sleep in 72 hours. Everything is going to be okay. All right? I just want you to know that everything's going to be fine. No one's going to die. This is going to be the most flowers and lightness stream that you have ever encountered. Now... When you last
now I'm worried. You want me and Rome in here?
So I don't think I even get disadvantage on that. That was complete, gold right there. I'm just going to say that it's in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dinner and a Game, where we vent all of our frustrations from our real lives by coming into a fantasy world and tearing it to little bitty pieces and leaving nothing but chaos in our wake. Thank you all for joining us for this journey of self-discovery, where we really discover just how violent we can actually project ourselves into. And then I take it up another notch and kill them all. But welcome back, Milagros.
God damn it. Man, I just got back.
Milagros made it back from vacation safe and sound. We are happy to have her home, and now it is time for the psychological torture to continue. And so she needs to need another vacation, is what we're saying.
I'm nice and recharged, so it's time to use up all of that new energy.
So, tonight is our D&D 5e campaign. This campaign was created in a world of my own design called the Kingdoms of Mist. And these folks have been generous enough to come in and help me explore the world, build out the stories, and really kind of create it. There's backstory for the world. It is on our Discord page. It is there for anyone who wants to go in and read it. It is not like on a paywall or anything weird like that. But if you want to go in and you want to, why is Nightbot not working? Nightbot hates me. Nightbot, tell me why you're not working. Nightbot's not talking to me, guys.
It sounds like you're having a conversation with a 2-year-old.
Well,
it's just throwing a temper tantrum, and you can't get it to do what it wants. What you want.
I mean,
Nightbot, go home. You're drunk.
Nightbot is not drunk. Nightbot does not drink. But Nightbot is telling me to go to hell. Oh, crap. Never mind. None of the links will work because I changed... No, none of the links will work because I recently changed the name of the stream on Twitch. Because we have been looking forever for a much better name for our show. Because the name of the show is Dinner and a Game. but as a name for the channel, it is hell. It is
hell.
like something like 40 characters long, people. That's ridiculous. So the name of the show on Twitch is now Dag Show, because that's much nicer, much simpler, and it means the same thing, dinner and a game show. And but because of that, I'm going to have to do all the commands manually. Speaking of commands, we have some command performances in store tonight, and there's people behind every single one of those command performances. And let me go ahead and give you guys a brief introduction to our incredible cast. First off, freshly back from vacation, rejuvenated, ready to go, ready to face the nightmares of her family and the history therein, and be the brave soul that we know they can be. We have Milagros. Milagros, who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Utopia Okal, formerly Aster. She was disowned by her noble family, who honestly just, at this point, war crimes, I guess, is what she has to look forward to and finding out. Like, it just keeps getting worse. She's a 19-year-old paladin. Just found out, I think, like, last session that I was here, that she is an Aesmir. I always want to say it as, like, ASMR. But she's...
If you can figure out how to actually say it as ASMR, you probably have a good YouTube channel.
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Make sure you pick your microphone when you do it, then you'll fit right into Twitch.
Just doing her best. She's trying, but it seems like every other session she just finds out another awful thing that she's gonna have to atone for in her family. But I don't know. Val's her dad now, so at least she has a dad. And she was missing from most of the dungeon crawl. I don't know what the in-universe justification is going to be because I wasn't here, but I'm scared because I just know Ray has some shit waiting for me.
I have shit waiting for everyone. And speaking of people that I might have some shit waiting for, we have the new adoptive father of Miss Utopia Okal. Sphinx, who are you playing today?
Hello, I'm Sphinx Akasha, and tonight I'll be playing Sphinx. I'm not playing Sphinx Akasha because I am Sphinx Akasha. I will be playing.
He's not nervous. He's not nervous.
I'm not nervous at all. No, I'm not terrified about what's going to happen at all. I am playing Valestein Okal, the newly adopted father of Utopia Okal. I am a Kalashtar bard, who is very, very worried that his adopted daughter has up and disappeared. He turns around one moment and fights some things. He comes back and nowhere to be found. I'm freaking out.
Thank you very much. And of course, we're going to jump into, because we're going to save the best for last, and we're going to go into one of the other best, and that is Rob. Rob, who are you playing tonight?
I'm playing Aeom. Aeom is also very sad because Utopia is essentially his best friend, and she has disappeared. And hopefully we get her back.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
there's a lot of hope, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
there's a lot of love. There's a lot of hope in this room. But to put the reality on that hope and keep us all in check, we have our two boys from OA, obliviously adventurous in the house. RJ, who are you playing tonight?
I am Grandpok. It doesn't work.
And
I play Grandpok.
And who is Grandpok?
Grandpok is a war domain cleric who is twin brother to the knucklehead over there that has a drinking problem. And that would be Shugash, played by the motherfucking Rome.
Who perfectly timed, took a drink right at that moment. It was beautiful.
Call me out on it. I'm still baffled by you talked about, caring and loving party members, and then went to us.
I know.
Shugash, as the group's healer, didn't even notice Utopia was gone. I just noticed Val running straight into death.
Yeah,
Like-
For reasons. For reasons.
I
Like-
You
mean,
know reasons.
I was preoccupied, dying.
Yeah, you're preoccupied getting knocked down and your throat basically slit. So
It was glorious.
So,
It's been fun.
and to quickly recap, the group was sent in by the arcane orders to go in and check out a possible ritual that was being performed below the city of Ayla, and they were magically transported into the catacombs beneath the city, right next to the site where the ritual was taking place. They went in to stop the ritual. As they were going into the place, one of the party members suddenly disappeared in the darkness. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Weisler, for the follow. We really appreciate it. And
Nice.
Utopia was somehow abducted with no sight, no sound, no nothing to uncover the fact that she ever existed. She was just gone. So this happened right as the Cut Party went into combat. Like, literally, it was roll initiative. Oh, yeah, there's no Utopia in the initiative order.
So I got redacted.
You
Love
got
to see it.
completely redacted. I didn't tell you to roll another character?
You're a monster, right?
No, so, but yes, Utopia disappeared. They went into this massive combat. They actually managed to stop the ritual. Grandpa, oh, and thank you very much, Tom Hussein. We really appreciate the follow. Grandpa actually did fall in battle. And the leader of the ritual literally did, after he was down, and for those of you who know D&D mechanics, after he was before he even made a death save, when he went down, cut his throat. So he auto-failed 2 death saves immediately. And he had 1 left. But luckily, Aeon was standing right there with him, and Aeon risked his life to come in and basically slap Grandpa back to life.
Get your ass up.
I went to save Ayo.
I know!
Good. And then whiffed like 5 attacks against this dude. And like I stepped in to make sure he was okay, and actually made it to where he could actually hit the thing. So, I mean, it was a win-win.
It was a win-win, except for the whole dead.
I knew Grandpa still had it in him, just needed a couple slaps upside the head.
There you go.
But anyway, they did end up winning out the fight. They began exploring the area where the ritual was taking place, and they discovered a hidden room. And in that hidden room, they discovered that was actually literally seen to be guarded by some kind of living darkness. They went in and they managed to get past the living darkness after, was it Val who took all the damage from it?
No.
No,
Because I wore the amulet.
No, it was Sugashi who took all the damage from it because he just walked through it. And they basically walked through the living darkness. Sugashi took a bunch of damage. Val had taken one of the amulets off the cultist, and he passed through it unharmed. Sugashi just stomped through it because, fuck that shit, and basically nearly died. And then they came into this room, and they discovered that inside the room there was a statue of the god of this plane, which is the Mist Mother. She is actually a living entity. She is not. She is basically kind of a demigod type power level, but she is also a gas giant in space, and she controls everything within her self, and all the kingdoms of mist are inside of her. So, and all the kingdoms of mist are actually separate, different planets inside of her. And because she's a gas giant, there is some atmosphere between the worlds, and that makes what is, for the most part, interstellar travel possible. So all these planets have different governments, different cultures, and everything like that. And this particular planet is called Alatras, and they're in the capital city of Ayla. And they basically are investigating why the Mist Mother has lost touch with her followers. She's still granting spells. Her priests and priestesses can still cast, but she is normally a very, very active deity. She actually walks amongst her people, and she has not been seen for months. She has not directly answered prayers for months. And so they're investigating what happened, and they found a statue of what looked like the Mist Mother in this secret room. But instead of being a Mist Mother depicted as a loving, kind Mist woman who is looking down with benevolence, she is pictured in a black material, which she's never really her likeness was never really done in, and she had an incredibly stern expression on her face, and she was wearing armor under her robes, and there was a sword at her feet. And so they basically were puzzling that out. They had I do believe Val had basically taken for the most part a snapshot by creating an illusion of this statue.
Yeah.
And you guys were getting ready to leave the subterranean cavern and head back out because you had a location and a rendezvous to be teleported back to the surface from. And that's where we left off, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing.
Legit.
Legitimate, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so you guys are standing outside of the room that you had previously explored and gone into. This is, I'm going to show the audience real quick, the actual area that you were in. So the area that they're standing in right now is a catacombs. The area that the ritual was performed at was over here to the left. And the fight ranged all over the place. You can see there's still bodies of dead cultists everywhere. And then this room down here in the bottom right corner is where they found the statue of the Mist Mother, shrouded in that living darkness that was protecting it. They basically found the sword on the base of the statue. They found the inscription that was written in what was could only be really discerned as some kind of weird ancient Elvish, but no one could translate it. And I think that was part of the illusion you captured, wasn't it, Sphinx?
Captured. Yep, captured the inscription with the illusion.
Yeah, and so you guys were headed out at this point. Now, what we're going to do real quick, because Utopia was on vacation and she had to go away, which means that she becomes the story beat for this adventure, because I always punish people who leave me. It's what I do.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
What's gonna happen?
So as you guys are finishing up with the situation, and this is happening while you guys are through the whole fight. This is what has been happening. And remember, I think the fight only took like 6 rounds, which means in total, it took 35-40 seconds at most.
That's ridiculous.
It was a 3-hour show, but the fight took about 45 seconds.
TikTok. That's 2 TikToks right there.
That's 2 TikToks. That's a lot of work, man.
That's a lot of work.
So anyway, Utopia, as you were coming down into the tunnels, and you were basically kind of the last in line. You were bringing up the back, and as everyone went down the stairs, as Val, I think, was the one who was just ahead of you. As Val walked away from you, you went to step forward to follow him and move down into this catacombs. And as you did that, it looked like Val kept on moving. You stayed in place, even though you felt your foot lift and you felt yourself step forward. And the light seemed to stretch away from you. And you panicked for a moment, and you went to just try and catch up to Val quickly. So you just went to do a quick little dash forward. And as you did that, every single step you took, the light just exponentially disappeared until you had taken 3 steps and you were standing in darkness. Now, you could still feel you were standing on steps, but you couldn't see anything. You have been in magical darkness before, and you recognized it right away. So you froze. Out of that darkness, a voice came. And that voice said, "Lady Aster."
Not anymore.
Blood is blood, and I can smell yours. You are a source of contention for us.
Why?
Because your house was responsible for opening the way.
Then why don't you take that up with someone who was involved? I didn't even know about this.
It was 100 years ago, Lady Aster. Your presence here threatens what we attempt to accomplish. So you are going to be removed from that presence. But because of the bindings of your family to our cause, we will not be taking any further action at this moment. We need you to understand something. If you consider to pursue this, we will consider the contract between the Astor family and our little family to have been broken. And your family, your whole family, will be subject to the stringent rules that were laid out therein and the consequences that were detailed in blood.
Do I get to know what any of these rules are?
Maybe you should go home and ask.
You could have told me this last week before I wasn't allowed to go home anymore.
I don't think you understand exactly what's going on, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
I have no idea what's going on.
But the one thing you need to understand more than anything else is that the actions you and your compatriots take threaten the security and safety of your family and all those who depend upon your family.
Okay, so...
That is your choice to make. We are merely laying out what the threat is to you. You're completely allowed to make your own choices. We would love to have that contract violated. We would love to gain access to those resources that are currently beyond us because they are protected by the letter of the law that is stipulated within said contract. If you wish to end the contract, you are wearing the seal of the House of Astor. You are carrying it in your hand. If you wish to break the treaty, if you wish to end the contract, then simply leave the seal in the darkness and return it to whence it came. You will sever all ties. I can tell you this. Ending the contract is much less catastrophic for your family. Probably no less as deadly, but much less catastrophic.
Then what?
Than breaking the contract.
What's the difference between breaking it and ending it?
Ending the contract means you return the boons that were given to you. Breaking the contract means you attempt to keep what was rendered unto your family. The rest of what was rendered unto your family has already been utilized. The only thing that remains of the original contract is that what you wear and what you carry.
And what will you do with it?
Use it for a new contract with someone else who is wise enough to keep their to honor their bargains. Everything is malleable. Even the souls of those who think that they are above reproach.
So, if I turn over the family heirlooms, what?
then the family no longer receives the protections from the initial pact members.
And who are they? What?
There are certain things that I'm allowed to tell you because of who you are. But you are not a signator to the contract. You are merely the bloodline that is present. You have certain rights and abilities as member of the blood. But if you want to know what is in the document, you must go find the document.
And is there some kind of time constraint when...
Depends on how much more your friends interfere and how much that will be leading directly to the violation of the pact. They've already, well, semi-thwarted one attempt. But they've also helped out a little bit, so we're appreciative.
Oh my. I've made a lot of impulsive decisions lately. I feel like I should maybe find out what the consequences of this would be before jumping the gun again.
You were wise to seek counsel. Anyone who enters into dealings like this should always enter into it with the best of knowledge. And I see you're at a deficit on that right now.
Yeah, no one tells me shit.
And as you can see from the fact that you cannot see, there is nothing about this that you're going to find that is going to be easy for you to understand or to deal with.
Of course not, because why? Why would anything be easy to deal with?
Because this is the real world, Miss Astor.
Sure.
Or should I call you Mizukala?
Miss Okal.
Okal, sorry.
Not an Astor anymore.
He says, oh, you can give up a name, but that does not mean you can change your blood. Especially when it comes to dealing with the supernatural.
I'm starting to figure that out.
There are rules. In the meantime, I think your friends are done. Do be sure to let them know we apologize for having to have this discussion at such a tender moment. But after all, this place is a stronghold for us and made it very safe to encounter you in this fashion.
Okay.
You are becoming formidable, and we respect that. And plus, you having participated in that would have probably been a direct violation of the contract.
Thanks for the warning.
Never let it be said that we do not attempt to honor our agreements.
Well, I'll go find out what that agreement is.
Agreed. So you come out of the darkness. It just disappears. You're standing on the steps. Let me jump back into that. You're standing on the steps leading down into... I need to grab you and drag you into the screen real quick. Leading down into the dungeon here. Let me make sure there's light on so you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're standing... Oops. I gotta delete that now. And so the steps leading down, you can hear voices in the distance talking. Aeon, did you run all the way back up here? You were down there helping them, weren't you? When searching the room?
Yeah, I was searching the room.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I think that you were. This is from when you were looking for Utopia, and then we just never bothered to move you back because it was mainly RP, not actual mechanics. You know, no more combat basically. So I'm just going to drag you back over here because you were standing down here with the others. So you're kind of up here by yourself in this room. You can see, and I need to hide this, that this room actually. How long does the daylight spell last, bro? 1
You're
hour?
muted. Oh, somebody here.
You're still muted.
I believe it's 8.
Give me a second.
Oh,
8
does it last
hours?
8 hours?
It's a long spell.
Yeah, I believe it's 8.
If I can find when I cast it, I could tell you.
Sorry, guys, I was making some grub.
No worries.
It's dinner in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Alright, I'm just.
So if it's 8 hours, I'm just gonna turn daylight on in the whole place.
If it's the 3rd level evocation, it's 1 hour.
1 hour. It still would be on right now.
Yeah.
All right. So there is this entire place is lit up, like the sun is down this hallway. You can see that that there's glowing spots on either side of the staircase coming down into this lower area that are glowing a sickly green, but the green is literally washed out by the bright daylight. You can see that there's a couple of bodies of what look to be like skeletal dogs almost, and the bones themselves seem to almost be ethereal. Further down, going up the stairs, going out of this lowered area, there is a dead body laying on the stairs that seems to be in some kind of cultist robes. So, are you going to move through the area?
Yeah, I want to find my friends.
All right, well, go ahead and head down and around. As you come down this way and come down the stairs, you can hear the voices of your friends jet ahead. You see there's several bodies in the hallway ahead of you. There is a large room ahead of you with a crack running through the center of the floor. You can see that there's crypts all around this room, and then there's an archway on the other side of the room, and the archway seems to be piled up with frickin' bodies.
Oh my god.
So you can see that your friends were here. And as you come into the room, you see everyone standing down there. They're standing around a crypt, and they seem to be discussing something, and they all seem very distressed.
I don't know what any of this means, but we need to go and find her. I don't know what. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I agree, but we weren't sure how to find her.
Hi.
I turn around and like my eyes are wide. I say nothing. I walk right up to you and I just put my arms around you, and I take a deep breath. Thank the light.
I'm gonna hug him back very tight.
You had me worried.
And it makes it hard to breathe.
Oh, too tight.
Sorry, what did
It's
I
okay.
do?
It's okay. Where have you been? Where'd you go? 1 minute you were there, and then we turned around and dealt with them, and I turn around and you're not there anymore. What happened?
The darkness again?
What?
Okay, remember the day that we all met? That there was that police station that was just swallowed up, and my ancestor walked out.
Yeah?
Something similar to that, only this time the darkness just grabbed me.
And was it one of your ancestors again?
I couldn't see them, I just heard a voice, but it wasn't familiar.
What did they say to you?
My family, former family, made a contract with the people who started this. I think it might have been one of the Asters who started disturbing the balance.
Okay.
So,
That's disturbing. That is. Well, you're well shot of them now. You're not an Aster anymore, so.
that's what I thought, but according to whoever is in charge of this contract, whatever
Contract?
contract. Yes, I don't know what it is, what it entails, but I have a choice to either end it and give up the family heirlooms, or I can continue on our quest and violate it, and something about my family no longer having the protection of these people. I don't know what the rules are, what the contract means, but
And this is a contract that was made from someone in your family?
yes, 100 years ago or more.
Shit.
Why not end it? You don't owe them anything anymore.
That's what I want to do.
Okay.
I've been jumping into a lot of things without thinking much, and I want to end the contract, but I at least want to know the consequences before I do. I don't owe my family anything, but I don't want to put you all in danger.
Okay.
Well, we're here because we want to be here. Well, I'm speaking for myself and maybe Aom. I don't know about the brothers back there.
You are still here.
Okay, so well then we're all here because we want to be here.
Oh.
So at this point, kiddo, it's up to you.
Well,
You
the
should
voice
probably talk to your father.
exactly said that I should go home again, but I don't think this time I'm taking no for an answer. I'll break down the walls if I have to.
We will help you break them down. Had a feeling you might say that.
I like to break things.
Yes.
I'll break it down, but property violence is really frowned upon by the Mist Mother.
What about property violence for a good cause, my friend?
I think she'd accept it.
Disowning your children.
I mean,
What did the Mist Mother say about disowning your
we could
I
just.
think that's higher on the list of...
She's a little
Yeah,
fuzzier. She's a little fuzzier on kneecaps.
There you go. There you go.
Go ahead, Rum.
I said we could just fly into the house like we did last time and not give the gods a chance to stop us.
Okay, so
That's
those
true.
of you who live in Ayla know that, you know, if you hire a private cab, they do have a way. They have like the sending stones, and they do call ahead to the house to get permission to fly in. And no professional cabbie will fly into a gated area that he doesn't have permission to. Now
we have
you
a
can,
coin and an aster.
but they
He
will still
doesn't
call
have to
ahead
know
to
it.
make sure they're coming. It's kind of like flight towers in an airport. You know what I mean? You check.
I mean,
before
he
you
didn't
land.
do that last time, right?
That's true.
Well, no, I mean, the guards all panicked that we flew over the gate and ran at us, so I'd assume.
Oh no, yeah. That was a different thing because, like you said, he had an Aster with him, and he wasn't looking at that as, you know, breaking any rules.
We still have an aster with us.
Yeah.
Former Esther.
By blood.
How
Bob-
far is that spread?
You still have the hammer, and you still wear the armor.
That is true.
That's true.
Let's pay Dad a visit.
Okay.
Good old Dad.
Well, I think we should give the information that we did manage to receive, or gain rather, to our current beneficiary, and then from there, I think it's a good idea to definitely have some words with your father.
Can I add a caveat that you stop disappearing into shadow? It really makes Val upset. He almost killed himself.
What?
Not on purpose. Not on
I
purpose.
disagree.
No.
I was hoping to find some information and about where you were, trying to find you. And yes, I was reckless, Aeon. You're absolutely right. I was absolutely reckless.
I did die.
I did die.
Not during the going into darkness, during the
What?
fighting part. That
In
was
case-
a whole different
in
thing.
case anyone cares, I did die.
It's just not the first time, it will not be the last.
Means
And
you
it
can
definitely
stop
is not the
crying
first
about it.
I am not crying. I have a new scar.
Scar on the throat is pretty cool. I mean, you don't really get that without either being hung or having your jugular cut. Nope.
You wear its head as a shield.
And I wore its stomach as a coat for a time.
So
it nearly bit you in half.
When it comes to magical healing, this is one of the weird things that I like to put in my game with magical healing. If you are injured and he's healed via magic means, there is no scars. There is no scar.
I was like, I want that scar.
It is completely healed up. That's why the orcs and some of the ritual and some of the orc tribes and some of the other some other peoples, ritual scarification is a big thing because they deny themselves magical healing in order to make sure they have the scars. It is a really huge deal because it's a permanent body modification, and it is done through a trial of pain and and usually it's also loyalty symbols and stuff like that. So ritual scarification is a huge thing in worlds with this heavy of magic, because you can easily have scars removed. Even a lesser restoration spell can remove a scar. So to have a scar and keep a scar is a huge thing. So there is traditions like in certain tribes, like in the orcs and stuff like that, where if you died and like something like slit your throat, after the fight, when you're back and everything, you're doing the tale as part of the whole. I am documenting what this happened. They would get a tattoo of the gash on their throat, or they would literally have themselves cut to scar the place where they received the wound.
Little hash marks on your arm for every time you die.
1, 2, 3 / 1, 2, 3, 4 /
I mean, you don't know. Am could have hit him with an ouchless Band-Aid.
3 weeks later, fucking Grandpa's fucking forearm is just covered in slashes.
Wait, it could be like freaking Killmonger and Black Panther, where you see like a few, and it's like, this is every time I've died. It's just
covered in scars. Yep. I was thinking of like the marks from The Silence with Doctor Who, where they saw like the black lipstick hash marks.
Yep, and then he's like, "Oh, we're not too bad off." And he looks away and looks back and says, "Oh crap!"
This has happened like 80 times. Shit.
And that's in 10 minutes. All right, so you guys, what are you gonna do now? Utopia's back with you, and you were talking about going back to the Arcane. The College of the Arcanum. So you guys are going to head back upstairs and meet back up at, for lack of a better term, the jump point.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to start. Good place to start.
All right. So you guys go back up in the hallway and go back into that initial room that you came from. You wait there for about 10-15 minutes, and then there is a little blue light that kind of pings on right in the center of the area where you're teleported into. And when the blue light pings on, it suddenly flashes into a white. And there is a disembodied face of the female caster who is in the tower with you. And she says, "Oh, good, you're back. We've been pinging rather regularly to see if you made it back. Is everything ready? Do you have what you need?"
I think so. We definitely found something.
Good. We do know that we are still not able to scry on that area, so it is still unhallowed, and it is still dedicated to something that gives it protection. But we did not sense any increase in our arcane energies in that area, so we know that whatever happened did not complete.
They definitely made an attempt at it, and I'm pretty sure we squashed that.
She says, "All right, very well. We're going to open the gate." She says, "Just step through whenever you're ready." And after a few seconds, there is a flash, and there is that blue gateway, the arch gateway that's standing there in the middle of the room. It looks like it looks kind of like a surface that's almost like a liquidy mirror texture, but it's glowing a bright blue.
Stargate.
D&D had it first.
It's true.
It's called Dimension Door.
That's fair. That's fair.
And actually, this one's called Gate because it lasts. All right, so you guys just step through.
Yep.
I will let Aeom and Utopia stepped through first. I want to make sure that they both make it through.
Yep. I want to get out of here.
All right, you guys. You feel that once again, that whole seemingly like a slip as you guys translate in from one place to another, going through the very fabric of magic to get there. And you feel that whole stretching and elongating of yourself, and almost an odd thing of being in two places at one time for a minute, as you can still sense yourself at the beginning of the gate, as you feel yourself fly to the end of the gate, and then suddenly everything snaps back into place, and you are standing on the other side of the gate.
As many times as I've done that, I'll never get used to feeling like a goddamned rubber band.
You know what happens next?
What happens next? You're standing inside the tower.
I know, but you just teleported us, and I make a con roll every time you do it.
Oh yeah, you're drunk.
I'm not drunk. I just don't like portals.
Oh, you just like portals? So what was your total con on that? That was a 6, right? Yeah, 6. All right, so as you come through the portal, that whole disorientation is just... It is too much for your equilibrium. You literally stumble a few steps to the side, and it's in that magic circle in that one room, and that was what originally had the banquet table set in it. And so you stumble a couple steps, and you kind of lean up against a wall right beside a potted plant. And as you're leaning up against the wall, the waves of nausea just wash over you, and you just collapse your knees and begin to hurl right into this potted plant. It was a very nice plant. It was very well tended and cared for, and obviously loved. It's probably dead now. But
oh boy,
good for plants.
Do not like those portals.
But you do feel a lot better.
I pat you on your back. You all right? You okay?
No.
Green apples help with nausea.
You probably should not touch him right now.
That's fair. That's fair. And I step away.
Yeah.
And I look around for someone. Can I get some water, something.
Green apples. I don't know if he'll eat them though.
I don't know if
Water and apples. Water and apples. Hello, yoo-hoo!
So as you come into the room, the first thing you notice is that you're basically all alone. Let me activate it real quick. You're alone, standing on the circle. The lady who is...
I don't know.
Oh, thank you, Brian, for the follow. We really appreciate it. There's Inari, Utopia. Where is there? It's actually on the desk. You see that area where you were sitting earlier playing chess. You see one of the statues sitting off to the side that's turned to face the actual teleportation circle.
Too small? Too small.
Oh,
Too
yeah.
small.
That was way big, sorry.
Still pretty big. That makes one chair 10 foot by 10 foot.
Yeah.
It was actually the right size in the beginning.
Oh, we were huge, though.
Yeah.
I like a big comfy chair.
Yeah, like a big comfy chair.
They're made for
I will put it back where it was.
Evil.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. You were huge. I don't know why.
Yeah, like we were just way big for that room.
Oh, we were huge. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The chairs were huge.
I had it sized right the last time. When I activated it this time, it just went.
That's
nuts.
a little smaller.
Inari's like the size of
Whatever.
a wart.
That'll work.
That'll work. All right, so, but as you're standing in there, there's no noise coming from around the room. There's still that a little bit of like almost static crackle, as you guys feel the energy dissipating from the spell. As you guys come into the room and look around, the statues begin to move of their own volition.
Oh my god, I hate that.
One of them walks to here. One of them walks into the room and walks around. It's staying off the circle. You notice very easily that it's making sure to not enter the circle itself. Another one walks to here, and another one walks around the circle, and it starts working on the circle and stops there. The woman who met you originally, comes out of a door to the south in the main audience chamber, and she comes out and she says, she says, "Oh, good. Everything seems to be in order." She says, "So we understand that you stopped the ritual. Did you find anything that we need to know?"
Yes.
Your guards surrounding us.
Yes.
It is.
That
It is
good question.
It is a precaution due to the fact that we have had some issues with people who have come back from these places of darkness, bringing vestiges of that darkness with them.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
That would have been nice to know.
Because we have precautions in place to make sure that nothing happens to you or yours, and we can remove those vestiges from you. But until we understand what you brought back, we need to use precautions.
Okay. Right. I cast Minor Illusion, and I recreate the statue that we saw to the exact specifications with which I saw it as best as I can.
Minor illusion lasts for 1 minute.
Let me see. Yes, 1 minute.
Okay. So you bring up the illusion spell. You begin, you craft it, bring it up, and she's looking at it, and she's kind of like looks it over, and she says, "I have not seen this before." And
I don't know that anyone has.
She says, "All right, very well." She says, "Turn it."
And I turn it.
She says, "This is not the Mist Mother."
It looks an awful lot like some of the depictions I've seen of her, except,
The
brandishing weapons.
yeah. And
There
darkness.
is writing on the bottom of the statue.
She kind of says, "Oh, can you just enlarge that area?"
And I do so for her.
And she kind of looks forward, and she kind of looks at it. She says, "It's Elvin," and she says, "A moment," and she kind of just puts her fingers to her head, and after a couple of seconds, light flashes, and an Elven man appears, standing right in front of the wall here, almost inside the illusion you created, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he kind of steps out, and he's like, "Yes, did you want me?" And she says, "Yes, you're Elvish, how is it?" And he says, I'm an elf." And she says, No, I meant dialects, other versions, and maybe arcanic versions of it. And he says, "Oh, no, yes. Well, I think I know most of the dialects that came through in the crossing." And she says, "All right." She says, "Well, can you take a look at this?" And he kind of bends down and he starts reading it, and he's like, so where did you find this?"
What does it say?
It says, "It is not very clear." He says, "This is a language that I am not truly familiar with." He says, "It is a language of a race of elves that we've never encountered since the crossing, and it was assumed that they would not brought over by the Mist Mother for some reason."
What race of elves is this?
The Shadakai.
Interesting.
They are a race of elves that actually chose to dwell in the plane of shadows. They became inured with its properties, and they basically became one with shadow.
How would a statue from a race not brought over, or writing from a race not brought over, end up on a statue of a warmongering Mist Mother?
He says, well, you make... And he looks at you and he says, you make assumptions. Remember, the Mist Mother's wrath is known.
Yes.
This may just be some faction that for some reason has chosen to beatify that aspect of the Mist Mother.
It is...
Why they would do so, I have no idea, but it is still valid. It is an aspect of her.
There's a difference between a mother's anger and a desire to inflict harm.
I agree. I agree.
Can you at least give a rough translation of what this says?
He says, it would take me some time. He says, the language is almost an inversion of Elvish, but there's some fluctuations to it. All I know is that it speaks of darkness and a path. Those are the only real, because those are basically fairly basic verbs and basic tenses. So it speaks of darkness and walking a path, but it has more direct references in it to very specific things. And I would need to see what the base root words are and trace back the etymology of it, and it would take me time. It says he as he's talking about this, he just like reaches into his sleeve and he puts his fingers and he pulls a piece of parchment out from his sleeve, and he pulls a piece of charcoal out, and he just begins writing what he sees on there very quickly.
She has the ability to manipulate time.
Yes. She looks at you and she says, yes, I do. It is significant.
So go get his notes from the future.
It doesn't necessarily work that way very well.
You did that with our armor and our gear.
Yes.
This is a piece of paper.
Yes, but we had an established timeline with the armor and the gear. You had already been established in the timeline prior to that. And as the time progresses forward, it makes it more and more established as a reality. So therefore, it becomes a reality I can enter into and pull from. She says, but if this just came into being now, it would take some time within our reality to become a reality. And she says, and by the time I do that, and he hands it up, he's like, he's written it all out. So it would be a waste of energy.
And
but I have the translations now.
Oh, that's if he's successful in translating it. There's going to be several splinters of time where he's not going to succeed, or he's going to have errors. I might go into the future and I might pull out notes that are not going to be in any way useful to us. I would much rather let him actually go through the process of analyzing it, and we'll look at it and we will be able to translate it and make sure that it has as close to what we think the actual reality of the language is. It's a language that we've never heard here.
There's never been another iteration? No sign of these other elves?
The elf that came out of the room, who looks to be a high elf, by the way, he says, there is stories told of, that there is some splinter of the Shadow Realm, but there's been no one there that we know of that fits the description of what the Shadowkai were. As a race of elves, they followed a different path from what is traditional of elves. Even those who are known as the Drow or the Drow, their path is not dictated by their environment. They make choices. The Shadowkai chose their environment. Some of the Drow chose dark paths because of influences outside of their society, mainly gods. But the Shadowkai chose this path, from what I know from my books. He's like, but as I said, the Shadowkai number 1 were from the Shadow Realm, so in that very aspect makes them a mystery, because they kept to themselves. They did not choose to directly leave their realm except for things that they deemed important enough to do so. So we have very little written knowledge of them.
And how long would it take to translate? Rough estimate.
I would have to make the trip all the way out to Evertree, and I would have to get access to the libraries again. And he says it would take some time since I am no longer a member of that society. He says it would take some time, probably several days at least, for me to get access to the libraries.
Yeah. Isn't this a school for people like him? I point at Val.
He says, yes. And there are magics that will allow us to be able to try and discern what's going on. He says, but one thing I know of the Shatterkai is that if this is written in their language, then there will be precautions against things like comprehend languages, allowing someone to use it to translate it directly. They guard their secrets. Unless this is some kind of this massive warning. But they're not known for giving those.
This is all this talk of splitting timelines and variants. This is why we hated chronomancy.
And she looks. The woman looks over at you and says, "I love chronomancy."
No offense to you. It's more. This is why we went into the bardic magic and not the more arcane aspects.
Yes, I understand.
Entirely the complication.
You did not have the mind for the craft. I understand.
Yes, exactly.
She kind of like lifts. She kind of like glares at you, Val, and she says, "Did you find anything else?" And by the way, this is wonderful, and thank you. Thank you for the service you did.
Yes.
You have earned your rewards. Did you understand what you wanted to use those rewards for yet? Because remember, I also need time to prepare for that. Or do you need time to make those decisions?
I'm trying to remember what it is that we chose to...
I'm pretty sure we get an answer to questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's an answer for up to 3 questions, or there was a boon of some kind of our choice. Is basically the way that it got put to us. I believe it was individual, not as a group.
Yes.
Gotcha.
All he says is true and more.
Well, there is something else that I would appreciate your counsel on. And I turn to Utopia. Would you like to tell her of your encounter?
Yes. Well, I'm just now finding out what it is they found. Because I was swallowed up by the darkness before anything really happened. I didn't see anyone. The other time this happened, I was able to actually see the person speaking to me. He was an ancestor of mine. This time, it was a completely unknown voice who told me that I need to answer for a contract that my family made that possibly started this whole mess. I don't know what the contract is or what it entails, only that whoever was involved is long dead, and I don't really know how to proceed.
It seems that your family may have had dealings with fiends in the past. I do not know what you know of cosmology. But even though we live within the confines of the Mist Mother and are graced with her protection, there is still influences from outside of her that she is not able to completely shield us from. One of those is the aspects of the cosmology of the planes. The plane's influence on her realm is incredibly reduced, and their access to our realm is incredibly diminished. Of course, for some of for some of the aspects of those creatures, this is very... Oh, thank you very much, Nicole, for the follow. We really appreciate it. This is a very, very disturbing situation for some of them, because the humans, mortals, our dealings are a source of either their commerce or their enjoyment, or even just their amusement from their eternity of their existence. There's creatures like the Fae, and she kind of gestures to the gentleman beside her, and she says, his ancient ancestors. There are creatures like the creatures of the plane of shadow, which we've already spoken of the elves from there, but there's other creatures that come from there. She says, but there's also planes of existence that tie directly into some aspects of divinity. There are the 9 hells. There is the abyss. These are the dominions of creatures that are anathema to, in some cases, existence, but in other cases, just certain philosophies, such as devils are subject to law, but hate goodness. And demons, which are another aspect of that, hate law, and will seek to break it down, which means they try and destroy structure in general. She says, and their influences are greatly reduced, but because some of these things seek to literally destroy the essence of reality, they fight to gain access. And some people have found that by reaching out and penetrating these protections the Mist Mother has in place, and making contact with these entities, they can gain in power. And it may be that your family at one time may have done this. And if they did, from the signs that you're talking about, what they reached out to was a devil of some kind. Devils sign contracts. It is in their nature.
Oh, boy.
But why this would be tied to darkness, it may be a devil of darkness.
So what am I supposed to do about that? Is
there anything that she can do? Can she circumvent this somehow?
You must find the original document and see what the contract entails. You must find a way to end the ties it has to your family. If the original members of your family are dead, that does not mean that the contract has been fulfilled, especially not if they're warning you of it. This is incredibly disturbing because the Astor family is very influential.
Well, I always thought that was because we were helpful, but apparently not.
The Astor family is a merchant family as well as a noble family. So, the Astor family has done very well for themselves after the setbacks they had when their original home was destroyed in the Cataclysm.
Original home?
Oh, yes. The Astors, as you know, the Mist Mother has provided us with a very incredible worlds we live in, but there is also the remains of her creation process that float all through the worlds. And one of those was a very large body that floated near and around the Dwarven homeworld. And this body was when the dwarves betrayed the Mist Mother and were chastised and flung out to the edge of her protection, that the home of the Astor family and most of the Astors themselves were destroyed when that small planetoid was destroyed in the Cataclysm.
Perhaps not as much as a
Where
coincidence.
to find an original contract?
Well, the contract would not have been... If the contract was destroyed, that would have ended the contract. So whoever has the contract was not present when their home was destroyed. She says, and she kind of looks at you and she says, and I understand that your family has pretty much always been the only real aspects of the Astor family that remains from the Cataclysm, because they were in charge of the business lines here on
Yes.
Alatras.
Mm-hmm.
So that would lead to the logical conclusion that whatever the contract is, it sits with some member of your family. So
Yet another reason to go home and bust those walls down, I suppose.
It would seem that all roads lead to having a chat with your father. Maybe sticking a fist in his face.
Or a hammer.
she kind of like steps forward a little bit and she says, "Just remember, it's not just the Astor name that holds weight. The Astors have ties to several of the larger financial organizations in Ayla. And they have a lot of sway with the Council of Ayla. And therefore, they could speak directly to the Council of Elatris itself. So before you make this more than just a family matter, you may want to make sure that you understand what the implications are for all of you if you choose to break down walls.
Don't let that be a reason to not follow your heart, Utopia. I
am not advising either way. It's not my place. I am merely presenting facts that someone who is upset may not be reasoning through.
If it was your place, what would you suggest?
Burn the place down and make sure the contract is destroyed.
That's fair.
She says, I am very upset to understand that this has happened here. I know it happens. But the college is here for a reason. And she looks at you, Val, and she says, Wallenstein, I know that you have been adventuring and searching for your song, but you remember what you were taught. We have a responsibility as wielders of the web to safeguard society against these things, against these intrusions from things outside of what the Mist Mother deems as being part of our worlds. And this is upsetting to know that within the very heart of the Mist Mother, as we love to think of Elatris, that something has become a corruption within her.
Yes, it is upsetting to us as well.
Says if we had anything more to actually present as evidence, I would honestly say take it straight to the Council of Ayla. But since you have been disavowed from your house, I don't know what the reaction from the council would be. And your accusations are would sound very outlandish because of the standing your family has.
Of course. Of course.
I would be willing to go with you to the council and state that we have evidence to prove that this influence has been released in the city, but I could not say that it can be tied directly back to your family.
No, I think...
Not without proof.
Pose something.
Thank you very much for the follow, Mr. Ray.
Ray, you got a
Willing
point.
to skip my questions and put us into his study.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Would you be willing to forego me asking questions to put us directly into his study?
Oh,
All you would be doing was returning an Astor to her home.
can you...
It's her house. I'm sure she could direct you or guide you.
Instantly, I could not do it. because it would be traced back to us. And although we owe you, we cannot jeopardize the university.
It doesn't have to be instant. We could take a rest before we go, if it takes time to prepare.
It would, because I would need to be able to make sure it cannot be traced back. Is this a boon that you would request?
I will give up my boon for this, because it would get your evidence.
Not necessarily, but it give us access to the possibility of getting evidence. She says,
Less
I cannot...
God than balls to walk down when we can just go through them.
And that is within your rights as her compatriots, and if she wishes it done.
I do.
That is... Then I will make preparations. She says, I would have you be ready and on hand for when it is ready. She kind of looks over at the other gentleman. She says, you should probably go. And he kind of says, oh, no, I will be assisting you. He says, this, and he taps he holds the document up. This is a link back to a possible lost race of elves. He's like, and I will not give up on this. He says, so I will be assisting you in your preparations. He says, translocation is one of my specialties, and yours is time. I think we can combine those together to make sure that these people can get in without being traced back to the college. And he says, and if they can find this evidence, or if they can end this pact in some way, they would be doing a service both to the college and to Ayla and Arlatras itself. He says, so, whether you want it or not, you have my aid. He says, she kind of looks at him and says, well, that will make things go much faster. He says, I will put you up in the dorms tonight. She says, I have some students who are doing some stellar cartography, so they will be busy. They will be otherwise occupied for the evening, so I'll let you use their rooms. She says, but come dawn, we will be ready.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are the ones, and she kind of looks right at you, Utopia. She says, you are the ones who are going to be making the sacrifice here. Because come what may, if you do not find this evidence, you are declaring war on your own family. Openly. And you will not have anyone to back you up other than your compatriots, who are formidable. But I fear that the House of Astor is more than equal to the challenge.
Well, I've always wondered what it would be like to become a fugitive, and it would add an interesting verse to the song.
She says, in the meantime, how about another meal and then rest?
I think we can all agree that that would be fantastic.
And she kind of looks over and she looks over the other gentleman. And Aelin, it is time we got to work. She says, I will leave the automatons to tend to you. And she kind of she pulls a small gem out of her pocket from a chain around her neck, and she holds it up, and she looks through the eyeglass on the gem stone. Looks through the gem that's on an eyeglass on the end of the chain, and she kind of stares for a second, and then you see that big banquet table appear again across that dais, and it's full of food again, just like it reset there. And she says, useful little chick. And she drops it down into her thing. She says, that was the table from yesterday, before you got here.
Oh.
Yes, figure it out. I have no idea.
Time magic.
She says, in the meantime, enjoy, and I will have someone, when you're ready, she says, just tell one of the automatons that you're ready to go to bed, and they will lead you to the rooms.
Is there a way to the top of the tower?
She says, there's no technical top. There is an observatory, and there's where the other students will be tonight. I mean, you can get to the top of the tower if you wanted to climb out onto the dome of the observatory. That's fairly dangerous.
Is there a ring or walkway around the outside of the observatory?
It'd probably be best if you just went up and saw. We're rather proud of it.
Groundhog starts walking. Which way?
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually take our break right now because it's coming up at 8:30. It's 8:22, and I got to reset the maps and bring everything else over for the observatory and everything like that.
Sorry.
No. It's they're already there. I just got to make sure that everything's ready and loaded for it. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Plus, I'm out of tea, and we're going to be back at 8:33. So thank you everyone for being here tonight. We hope you're enjoying everything so far, and we will be back in 10 minutes.
Nice.
ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for taking a little bit longer than we said we would. Yeah. About 4 extra minutes, actually.
Oh, no.
Yes, we're horrible people.
We'll blame it on Val.
Just the worst.
It's our Bard's fault.
It's Mark's fault. And he's still
It's the
not
distraction.
back. It's a distraction. He's being distracting. But, so we are, you guys sit down and have a very decent meal.
Potatoes?
Yes, there are definitely potatoes. They have become a focus of Sugasha's life. He has never discovered a greater love for anything than he has for his brother and potatoes.
I don't know if I've actually ever eaten one.
Yes, you have.
I just carry them around with me.
They're his emotional support potato.
Yes,
Emotional support potatoes.
I wear it on my shoulder.
But the problem is it's a roast potato, so now it's kind of smushy. It's been a few weeks. It smells funny, and it's got roots growing out of it again.
Well, that
Oh,
one
no,
had blood
I
on
trade
it,
them
didn't
out
it?
every time I
Yeah.
find a better potato. Like, I will leave the old one and take a new one. Until
So-
I finally try them.
Until you find it. So after the meal, Grandpa, you guys are directed upstairs. You go several flights of stairs in the Wizard's Tower, and you get up to what looks to be the top of the tower. The tower has no crenellations at the top. It is just a flat edge. There is no safety lines, no chain, no nothing. Thank you very much for Cole for the follow. We really appreciate it.
Also, I brought up the chessboard, just so it's all clear. I just took it with me.
Okay, well, it's a table. With
Okay.
a chessboard built into
Shit.
it.
I brought up a couple of chess pieces.
So you have, but you you're kind of looking at the table, and he's like, how do you take this thing anywhere with you? And when you say, how do you take this thing anywhere with you? The legs kind of like stand up, push up, and it stands up, and the legs get a little bit longer, and it begins following you.
Oh, lovely. We're going to the observatory, friend.
It starts going ahead of you because it knows where the observatory is.
Perfect. That's a smart table.
So after meal, everyone starts going upstairs, and the observatory is it's 3 stories up. As you're going up the stairs, you can tell that the floor directly above this is probably the dormitories for the other wizard apprentices that live in this tower, and then the floor above that seems to some kind of lab, and it's also almost like a greenhouse. There's several looks like permanent instances of the daylight spell cast in here.
Oh, wow.
And there is greenery and vines and everything growing everywhere. There's several different rooms, and each different room is a different environment. There's one that's you can see through the doorways. One of them looks like it's like a jungle, and another looks like it's like a forest and stuff like that. So, and then on the next level up, you come walking up this open stairwell, and like I said, the floor looks like star fields and they're just sitting there glowing, and there are several circles depicted on the ground, and there is a number of planets depicted in the circles. You quickly recognize where Alatris is. You recognize where Tyrell is. You recognize where the twins are. The twins actually would be the center. Floating at the center of this, there is a large, very plush couch that is laid out in the very center of this area. And it's in the middle of all these mystic runes. And there is, floating above it with nothing holding up, is a gigantic metallic tubular object that tapers down in several segments down to an end piece, and the end piece has a line coming off of it, and laying on the couch is one of the young apprentices, and he has this device he's holding up to his face, and he's looking at it. And setting up, there's several other apprentices, and they're all sitting there with they have notes books open, and there's an older looking gentleman up there with he looks to be a gnome. He's got very silverish gray hair, very thick bushy eyebrows. He's got a full Van Dyke and goatee and beard, and goatee and mustache, I should say. He's wearing little spectacles, and he's kind of like sitting there, and he's rocking back on his heels. And he says, "And how far is the variance, Michael?" And the young gentleman sits on the couch, and he says, "According to your settings, sir," he says, "this would mean that Kyrell's orbit is continuing to decay, or to wander out." And he says, "And how much is the variance mean to them?" And he says, "Up to a full degree a year, sir." And he says, "And what does that mean for Kyrell?" And he says, "Uninhabitable in 120 years."
Wait, what?
Hi!
He kind of the gnome kind of turns around and is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know we had visitors."
No, what was that about Kyrell?
And the young boy all the other apprentices kind of look at the gnome, and they look over at you, and he says, "Yes, why don't you all go down and do the math again, and just make sure that we have it all right, and then we will make a presentation tomorrow." And so all the other young men wandering off. There's another set of stairs that goes down further along the arch of the curve, and he turns around and he says, "Yes, we have noticed since Kyrell's position was changed," and he kind of looks down at the map of the system at his feet. "Since Kyrell's position was changed originally from the Mist Mother's intent, and it was changed obviously in a rash decision rather than a concentrated effort, that its orbit is not perfect, and that it is continuing to push further and further out." He says, "At first this was a very small, barely discernible or escalation in the orbit." He says, "But for some reason in the past several months, it seems that escalation in the variance of the orbit has increased." He says, "At the rate it is increasing in 125 years, there will not be enough radiant heat present to sustain any form of life."
And have you told anyone?
Well, we do not wish to cause a panic, and we just originally discovered the possibility of these findings about a year or so ago. And we have been verifying and making sure that we completely understood what was happening. He says, I'm sorry, not several years, several months ago, I apologize. And he says, "And at this point, we understand that the math is sound."
So, will you tell them at some point?
We will continue to advise the council, and the council will take the steps it feels necessary.
Why does Alatras get to decide what happens to Kyrell?
Alatras does not get to decide what happens to Kyrell. Alatras has been going out of its way to provide support to Kyrell.
And their council gets to decide whether or not my people know if they're going to die in the vacuum of space.
The council gets to decide how they're going to handle the situation to prevent a panic. It's 125 years. We know that the possible need to evacuate a planet is daunting, but I hope it wouldn't take 125 years.
And I would hope that your bureaucracy doesn't get in the way of people's lives.
He kind of like eyes kind of widen out, and he says, "It's not my bureaucracy." He says, "It's the government that sponsors this entire operation." He says, "I am just reporting exactly where I was told to report to."
I put a hand on Aeom. It's not his fault.
No, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I hope that if they never decide to make the right choice, that somebody else would have the moral fortitude to make the right choice, regardless of who they report to.
He says, I don't think there's any doubt that if this were attempted to be kept secret, I don't think that they would have given the assignment to study this to the university.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I've had a lot on my mind.
It's a shocking discovery when we were approached to look for irregularities, and we discovered this at the time of the Miss Mother's. When it was discovered the Miss Mother's influence had been waned, and we were asked to look for other irregularities, and we discovered this one. They said we understood what this meant, but that is why we wanted to make sure we understood exactly what the potential was. He says he kind of looks at you and he goes like, "I take it you are a native of Kyrell."
I am.
He says, the situation there and its position, from what we understand, are kept in check by the Miss Mother's benevolence. And if the Miss Mother has lost her ability to focus that, if she is somehow cut off from these interactions, then that would be something that may be affecting this entire situation.
Interesting.
It says there's nothing we can do, nothing we can say that can directly change how this ends, because the Miss Mother is in the end the arbitrator of how and what her control is of the situation.
And whatever her decision is would be the correct one.
If it's being allowed to be her decision.
Yes. If it is.
We know that there are other gods. We know that there are other creatures. We know that the Miss Mother cannot hold everything at bay. She has been very honest with her with us about that.
And she's growing more weak by the day. I understand. My god is lost. And I'm just going to walk away.
Oh.
He kind of looks at the rest of you and he's like, "That's not what I meant at all. I'm sorry."
Before he makes it past me, I'm going to grab him.
Oh.
You are upset. But go look at your home.
And he goes, "Yes, by all means." He's like, "Kyrell is at its closest point for the next few evenings." He says, "You will be able to." Thank you very much for the follow, Tanner. You will be able to get a clear view of the silver orb that is your home.
I'm gonna walk over to the.
It's a little
viewing
mask,
station, like a telescope.
Yeah, it's a big couch, very comfy looking, but there's a long cable that comes down off of the telescope, and it's a little mask that you can secure in your face. You can see there's a little harness, but the kid wasn't using it. There's a harness that'll hold it onto your head for like extended wearing. But you see he was holding it up to his head like you would a pair of goggles. So do you put it on?
Yep.
All right.
As he puts it on, I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on his area.
On what?
The area where he said it. It's a 20-foot radius, so from the chair.
But what is it? What is the spell? I didn't understand.
It's Calm Emotions.
Oh, Calm Emotions. So as you look in, as you put the goggles on, when you open your eyes in the goggles, there is a shimmer on the screen in front of your eyes. and you see this, and something that you saw only like once before, and that was when you were leaving Cairo. Once you got away from the planet and you got to a point where the planet was only like a very large circle behind you, you could see the shimmer of all the reflected snow on the surface. And in a belt around the center of the planet, you can see what looks to be a brown and red line that is a scar of the Umbral Cut, which is the center volcanic rift that at one time marked the prosperity of Cairo, because it was the central portion of the planet where all the dwarven kingdoms were all founded, and it was where the forges were and where life was centered in the city, and on the planet, I should say, and that this was the main focus of most industry in Cairo, as the mines here delved deep, and as the mines delved deep, the forges that were heated by the volcanic activity here also were, always lit and always in the process of utilization 24 hours a day. This world was alive in the fact that everything was put towards the industry of creation. The other areas on Cairo went to try and build out ways to sustain the people of Cairo, from farmers to, woodcrafters to fishermen to everyone else who was trying to put forth towards bettering Cairo as a whole. But the focus of Cairo was always creation, to the point that it was part of the culture of almost every race indigenous to this planet, that crafting was one of the most highly sought after skills. And it wasn't just metalsmithing. If you could work wood, if you could write, if you could create anything, you were encouraged to do so. Everyone was always encouraged to pursue their passion for creation. It was the one thing that was the uniting force behind all the peoples who came from this planet. It was also their biggest vanity. But at the same time, it was a planet that was based on that level of fundamental individuality, that you were the best work you could make. So you can see now that from what it would have been 100 years ago, the thriving planet with multiple different regions and multiple colors making up the surface, it's now just a giant glowing white disk in the sky with very little to mar its surface. You can see some other mountain ranges that are capped out. You can see the one or two coniferous forests that have managed to survive through the harsh cold. But other than that, there's very little that breaks the white. But it's everything you know of is home. And the people who are there are still trying to create. They're just trying to use that creativity to rebuild lives. It's been 100 years since the Cataclysm. And there's still more work to be done. Alatras has been fundamental in providing people and labor to help them rebuild. And then once the cold destroyed much of the resources there, such as wood and stuff like that, Alatras began supplying them with those supplies as well.
Cairo was always known as a place where people made things. And it was the birthplace of my sect of the worship of the Mist Mother. And it's difficult to see that one day the temple that I was raised in, the birthplace of my beliefs, will be just as covered in ice as the rest of the planet.
The gnome kind of looks over at you and he says, "There is nothing that you have not said that at this point is not true." He says, "But do not seek to feel that finality until we understand what the Mist Mother has and can do to help. And not just the Mist Mother. He kind of looks at you and he steps forward as you're sitting on the couch and he kind of leans down a little bit. He looks at you and he says, remember, the Mist Mother did not bring us here because we were weak. She brought us here because we were lost. She brought us here because she gave us something to hold to, and something to build from. We will not falter. And the people of Cairo are the best embodiment of that thought.
I give him a smile. You're right. And it's not the loss that bothers me. It's my lack of understanding. I had a master, and she left me too early. She never helped me understand certain aspects of being away from home and the pain that it would cause. And knowing that one day I may never return, regardless of Kyrell's fate, is difficult for me to deal with right now. And I thank you for your words.
He says, I wish they were more than just words.
Words are enough. There's something sacred to my people.
He says, may you find your way in the mist.
I would normally give a greeting back, but I hope that I can.
He says, he smiles and he says, just leave the mask when you're done. He says, I will leave you in peace.
I step away from it. Are there any, balconies or any places where you can, sort of just see outside of the tower?
There's no tower walls here.
Okay.
We're outside.
Okay, cool.
You're literally standing on the flat surface of the roof of the tower.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to walk to the edge.
Okay.
I have my chess table.
You have your what?
I have my chess table.
Your chess table. It follows you around, so.
Yeah.
So you go walking over to the edge, and you can see across the city from here. The Arcanum is on one of the fingers, and it's on. It basically is near the tip of the finger, so you can literally see down into the ocean from one side, and you can see across the entire palm, all the way down to the wrist and the outer walls, and it is, it's getting on dusk. But it is still light enough to where you can see movement all throughout the city. You can see the life as it flows around and moves. People just going about their day, making sure that, letting you know that this is just another day. All those people are walking around. They have no idea what's happening. They have no idea what you've been through. And they are just moving about and doing whatever they are doing.
I start playing both sides of the chessboard, and I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay. So, you walked over to the edge, and you took the chessboard with you.
Yep.
Where are the rest of you at? I know that Grandpa, you moved over there. Sugash, what are you doing?
I am wandering aimlessly, staring at the floor.
Okay. It is incredibly interesting because it's all the runes are carved into the floor. The odd thing is all those little dots you see everywhere. You don't see those anywhere else. Sometimes you see glimmers and sheen in the sky, but you don't ever see all these little dots. You don't know what they're supposed to be. You can see the planets laid out, but you can't, but the rest of it doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm just staring at it.
Gotcha. And Val, what are you doing?
I am looking to Utopia. How you doing, kiddo?
Well, I think.
And don't bullshit with me. How are you doing?
You know when you have something big coming up and you're already tired in anticipation of the tired that you know you will be when it happens?
Oddly enough, yes. I know that feeling well.
That's how I'm feeling. Like I'm pre-stressed and pre-tired in anticipation of what I know is coming because you haven't met my father yet, but you already know somewhat how he is.
I'd like to meet him, if only to put my foot up his ass.
Thank you, because I can talk all I want when he's not here, but I just know that when I see him, I'm just gonna feel like a little kid again.
Well, I don't know that there's much that I can do to help you feel otherwise, but you are a strong, beautiful, capable young woman. You are not a child. You are my daughter. And I know that last bit has only been for a short time now. But I am proud of you. No matter how he feels about you. You have come a long way just from the time I met you. And I feel that you will grow even further in this journey that we're taking together. And also, how many people can say that they've gone on a journey with their father or, with their daughter? I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I wish this was something that my father had done with me. But circumstances being what they are, and I know that you're dealing with a lot inside, in that mind and in that heart of yours. But just know that I'm here.
Thank you. But well, and I think I'm gonna go check on Aeon. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, that was intense. Yeah, I'd definitely go for it, kiddo.
Thank you.
Of course. And I'm just gonna, while she's checking up on Aeon, I'm just gonna wander around kind of the circumference of the rings and just stare at the floor. I just kind of marvel at it and kind of mumble to my quarry, I don't think we've been up here before.
It says, I don't know. We never really got into celestial studies. He's like, except for that one young woman named Celeste. But that was a different thing.
That was an entirely different thing, and how dare you bring that up again?
He says, it was memorable for me.
It was fun. It was definitely fun, but it was not her.
No.
And I began to kind of almost like start to sink into melancholy again. It's like...
So as you begin thinking about that, and Sugash, you're trying to trace some things. Grandpa, what are you doing?
So Grompok found the spot that's basically the twins of his home.
He did.
And he's basically kneeling down with his eyes closed over top of those planets.
Gotcha.
Just basically sending a thought and a prayer to his people, hoping that they're safe, hoping that they're doing well, so on and so forth.
You feel you kneeling down over the planet as it sits there, and as you're kneeling there, you notice something. As you're kneeling there, the planet moves out from underneath your knees very slowly, and begins continuing along its track. It's not like it's not a mechanical thing. It's just graphically moving, and it makes you kind of look around, and you realize that all these planets are moving slowly, but they're moving. And as you're looking around for that, the sun is kind of like setting, so it's kind of casting long shadows now. And as you're kind of like looking down, you're watching the planets move, and you look up at the you just look up into the sun, not into the sun itself, but look in that general direction. Right as you do that, there is a screech, and 3 shadows drop out from in behind the sun, and they all come crashing down on different spots on the rooftop. One of them comes and lands right beside Aeon. One of them comes and lands right beside Sugash. Not on top of him, right beside him. And the last one comes flying in and lands right beside you. All these creatures look like they're made of stone. The two the ones that are about human size have they're stone creatures. They look like crude epitaphs or gargoyles that are usually mounted on castles, but they have wings and they're flying. The one that lands right by you, Grandpa, is twice the size of the others. And where the others have 2 arms, this one has 4. And when it lands, you see the actual the animated float ground around you. You see that there's visible cracks that come out for it. And as it lands, it says, "Just them, not her." Roll initiative.
Excuse me?
God damn it!
Not big shit again. No.
Oh, nice net 20. Wait. Oh, it wasn't 20.
Ooh, okay. Did all right.
Nice.
All right. So they weren't going for surprise. They were flying in. They were hoping you would notice them out of the sun, so they got close enough to actually rush in. Thank you very much, Nat, for the follow. We really appreciate it. So you guys are sitting there, and they come slamming in the ground. Sugash, you're up in the initiative order. What are you going to do?
It should actually be Val, since we're both at 20. He's got a higher dex mod than I do.
Oh, I wonder why I didn't put it in order. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me see if I can move you. No, I can't move you. Let's hit begin combat. Maybe I can move you. Nope, I can just remove it. So we'll make sure Val goes first. Val, you're up.
Okay. Ooh, shit. All right. And they all look like stone, yeah?
They look like living statues is what they look like.
Okay. I am going to... Where are you? I'm going to cast Shatter
Okay.
on the one on the other side of Sugash.
Got it. Go ahead and go to cast your spell and drop your template.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, man. It did not... I cast it in the wrong spot, I think.
I don't see a template up.
Oh, never mind. I see. Hang on. Ha-ha!
They're coming to take me away, haha.
Put it right here.
All right. So let me go ahead and... Did you target him?
I target you now.
Thank you very much for the follow, Joshua. Really appreciate it. Let me roll the saving throw.
Fail it! Fail it!
Do me a favor. You hit the rolled saving throw because it's telling me I have to have a control token, and I do have one. So
Let's see.
it's on the shatter spell in the chat.
Yeah, it's not letting me roll it.
It's weird. Might be a little glitch. Let me just go ahead and it's what's the saving throw? Con? Got it.
Yeah, 14 con.
I got it. Saving throw roll. Oh, he fails.
Ha ha! So it will take 16 points of thunder damage.
And shatter.
Oh, and if it's made of stone or crystal, then or metal, it has disadvantage. But
It's still
we don't
failed
know.
either way.
Cool.
And
And we only know that it looks like stone. We don't know that it actually is stone.
yeah, you get the general feeling that it's definitely stone.
And I will use my bonus action to sing to Shugosh. That's a brick, dun dun dun, house, dun dun dun. Just rear back and knock that motherfucking wall down. Ow! And you get a D. I think it's a D8.
Inspiration.
Inspiration now.
We're up to D8s.
Nah, nah, nah.
And you really hated that. You really hated that telescope, Val.
I did not hate the telescope.
All right, so that would bring us over to Sugash.
Alright. So, let's see, where can I move myself? I'm going to take that attack of opportunity and move myself here.
All right.
So Gargoyle has an A up.
Yes, he does. 1 second. I'm targeting you. And I'm going to go and kill you. Yes, ma'am. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just I'm gonna go kill you.
If I could hit him, I'd kill him. I missed.
I'm okay with that.
All right. So you're over there now. What are you going to do?
I'm going to cast Emboldening Bond on Grumpak, Aeom, and Val.
Ooh.
So the
Aeom and
three
Val.
of you, as long as you are within 30 feet, you get a D4 that you can add to any attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Now, is it all three of us have to be within
Nope,
30
you
feet?
have to be within
as long as
30
we're within
foot as one person that has
Aeon,
the
do you remember
bond.
what
Beautiful.
your initiative was? I just accidentally hit the wrong thing and took you off the initiative
Oh,
roll.
it was 11, I think.
Got it.
Yep, 11.
And then
I got it. There you go. All right, you're back
All
there.
right, sweet.
as
What shall we use for emboldening bond? We'll use these little wings.
Oh.
and then as my
Yeah.
I don't have any more.
So it was Val, Aeom, and who else?
Me, but
Grandpa.
while you're there, pull the Shield of Faith off
Nope.
of me.
Do not.
Oh.
Because my last action is I'm casting Shield of Faith on Grumpak.
Of course.
So there, telling us what to do.
If I don't,
I mean, I was just making sure it wasn't being pulled over from the last one.
Got it.
Uh,
All right. So is that the end of your action, Sugash?
yes, that's me.
All right, Utopia,
Yep.
you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna run towards the one that is by Aeom and freaking smack it.
You're going to run by Aeom and smack the living hell out of that thing?
Absolutely. Oh no, wait, no, not targeting myself.
No, you should not target yourself on this one.
Oh no.
Sick of this shit. Sick of this fucking. Ooh. No bill. No
These
bill.
are rat bastards.
Literally rat bastard.
All right, the roll is off. That hits. Now, you can roll damage for the Warhammer. Are you going to spend for a smite?
Yes.
Okay, so you burn a spell slot in your character sheet. Are you going to spend for a first level smite or a second level smite? Thank you very much, Nick Lehman, for the follow. We really appreciate it. A first level smite gives you an extra 2d8 damage of radiant damage, and a second level smite gives you 3d8 radiant damage.
I'm gonna save the second level for the big one.
Okay.
But I can use. We'll use one.
Oh.
Did I do that right?
I think so.
Let's see. Doot. So, well, actually, you cast Searing Smite on that.
Oh.
You can do that as a bonus action too. I just need to make a saving throw. Oh, did you already do that? No, you said the damage roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the damage.
So let me do the Searing Smite save.
Smack him! Smack him! Uh-oh.
And he actually saved. So he's taking half, though. So you did 9 points of fire damage on top of the 6 points of bludgeoning damage. So that is a total of 4 points of fire damage, and then the 6 points of that. So it's 10 total points of damage on the gargoyle. And you're doing this with a Warhammer, yes?
Yep.
Alrighty. Alright, and the next one is... Oh, and are you doing anything else in your action? I apologize.
No, I'm not doing anything else.
Alright, and after that is the first gargoyle's action.
Shit.
He screeches, because he's been bashed around a bit, and flies down here, and he is going to attempt to smack the living hell out of poor old Val.
Of course he is.
Well, of course he is. What else would he do, Val? You are the tastiest target that's ever been targeted.
Well, chocolate is good for you.
Chocolate is good. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
You have it right there. No doubt about that. Chocolate is good for you. Good for what ails ya. 13?
13 just hits.
Alright, so let's do
Because I believe I am still wearing the armor.
Yes.
Even though is it in the thing yet? Can I actually?
Did I give you the +1 to your AC yet? Let me check your thing. And let me check out Val's armor class. 13 is still your AC, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's leather armor, but it's got the +1. So
yeah.
So 13 is still your AC. So
Cool.
Still hit, and then it's going to do its. So it did a grand whopping total of 3 points of slashing damage, but it is also going to try and bite you.
Oh, of course it will, because it's a bastard.
Because you're chocolate.
I mean, there's also that.
And
I mean, who could resist?
And that hits you as well.
Oh yeah.
And you take 8 points of piercing damage as it reaches out and like grabs you on the shoulder with its claws, digging them through your armor, and then it just reaches out and like bites down on your forearm, and it's like you feel its teeth rip into you.
Oh, that sucks.
It's a pleasant experience, I guarantee it. Aeon, you're up.
Alright. Go to. I can't technically see it, so somebody else is gonna have to target
Where'd
it.
it go?
I can't see anything around me.
That's weird. I don't know what those rings are doing with that. It's literally right on you, so you can just hang on. Let's just move you in a ring. How's that?
Okay.
We haven't healed since, or rested since.
No.
Oh man.
You got a short rest.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We did.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So you
I never did that.
Yeah, during the meal. So you guys take a short rest and spend hit dice as you like.
Then I would have spent hit dice all the way to get myself back up to full.
Yeah.
Let me. You get back here, you.
You get a hit dice.
Let me fix it.
Cleric's D8s or D6s, wrong.
D8.
If you actually open your character sheet, you can click on S rest, and it'll open up a short rest screen, which you can actually roll your hit die while watching it change your hit die in
On the sheet
your
itself.
character sheet. So you can choose how many to spend that way, and then click rest, and it will give you whatever slot.
And remember, you don't have to roll them all at once. You can roll them individually,
Mm-hmm.
and then stop whenever you hit whatever cap you want to hit at.
Yep.
How do you roll them individually? Because it just says 5 available.
Yeah, when you hit roll, it's just one die.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you keep on having to whack the roll button over and over and over again to spend the individual dice.
Okay.
Yeah, let me do that too. Just to keep it all legit.
Oh, that's better. All right, just one more.
And then.
Yes. Okay. And then missed. Cool. Oh, I get my key points back. Awesome.
Yes, you get key points back on a short rest.
Yay! Thank the gods for that.
You guys, has everyone spent their dice for that wanted to?
I'm working on it now. Cool. And then I will take my damage.
And then we will go to Aeon's turn. Aeon, can you see anything now?
Nope.
Man,
I can see the line where I have traveled, but beyond that, everything around me is darkness.
Let's do this.
Humans.
I'm Faye.
Can you see anything now?
Dark
There we
vision
are.
is a Fae.
I know it's I don't have dark vision. It's the weirdest thing.
I still find that so weird.
So
That's
bizarre.
going to be a thing.
I know. It's very sad.
Does everyone can see now?
Yup.
All right, good. I don't know what those concentric rings on the floor have some kind of effect on them, but I can't find it to shut it off. But the light goes right through them, so I have no idea.
Alright. I'm gonna be punching this man's.
You gotta punch that man in the face.
This man's.
And Utopia, you already said you were standing beside him, so yeah, good.
And then I get to add a D4 to that, but do I need a D4? Does that hit?
18 does hit.
Okay, cool. Alright. And then damage. I get to add the D4 to my damage, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Is yours both attack and damage, Rome?
I believe so.
Alright.
I
Nice.
thought yours was attack and mine was the damage.
That might be correct.
Enter. Why isn't that rolling?
Question for you: is my pass through stone a bonus action or a free action?
It is a bonus action.
Cool.
Mine's just attack roll. Sorry.
So you don't
No,
add
no,
it
no.
to the damage.
Not to
Sorry,
damage.
it is an
Oh.
action. It is an action. 'Cause
Pass through stone.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I
It is an
misunderstood.
action.
Cool.
Yeah,
Alright.
So my D4 is not for damage, right? It's only for attack.
Got it.
Oh wow.
That's all right. So I didn't take that damage off anyway, so we're good. Another attack. That one misses.
If I add a D4, will it?
You can
If I
roll it and
perfect.
try and find out. You don't lose the D4 if you roll it. You keep
That's true.
it. So
Yeah.
you might as well roll it on every single attack. But that makes it a 13, which still misses.
Damn it. Okay, then I'm going to use my bonus action to unarmed strike again. Actually, flurry of blows.
Flurry of blows instead. So you're gonna
Yeah.
get your
Two
first
unarmed
strike.
strikes.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, come on.
Do the E4,
Yep. That's
and
better.
that hits.
Yes.
Nice.
Roll that damage. That's 7 points.
One more. Oh, that doesn't hit at all.
That doesn't hit.
Any universe.
Nope. So you basically you throw hands, a flurry of kicks and punches. You see the chips go flying off of him, but it's not. Let's see, you're not. Yeah, you're 5th level, right? So yeah, so you see the strikes landing on him solidly, but it's like kicking a wall. So basically, you feel your knuckles are bruising up, and your shin hurts like a bitch.
It's that Muay Thai training.
Yeah.
They taught me that at the monastery. Just punch walls all day long.
So the one you just kicked, he turns and regards Utopia, and then spins back and goes to attack Aeom.
Fair.
What's wrong, Utopia?
That's my friend! You can't just look at me and then go back to trying to beat my friend!
Why not?
Oh my god!
Why are you so
trying to
sad?
smash you?
And that is a miss. He goes to whether that was him trying to bite you. Now he's going to swipe at you with a claw, and that is also a miss.
Good!
So he switches and he switches and he hits nothing but air. Now it's over to Grompak.
I'm gonna keep it simple.
Okay. Keep it simple,
So this moves with me.
All right.
Essentially, I am casting Spirit Guardians. So I need 4 arms to give me a DC 13 Wisdom save, and his movement is halved while he's in this zone. And if any other creature enters the zone, their movement speed is half. Glorious.
Most glorious.
Damage.
3d8.
Yep, 3d8 damage. 17 damage. And then they're my ancestors, so it's basically just 4 big orc warriors in full what look like dragon bone scale armor appear around me and just start walking in a circle around me. And then as I can't cast 2 spells even if one is an action and one is a bonus action, correct? Cantrip. Gotcha. Right, because that's the meta magic side of it.
Meta magic.
So, for bonus action. Nothing that I can do, so that's going to be the end of my turn. I want it to be known that any friendlies who pass into this circle are not affected by it.
Nice.
I need another wisdom save from him at the start of his turn.
Half that then.
22, he passes.
Hmm.
He's still affected by the movement, but he is...
Creature takes half.
Oh, he does take half?
Yep. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage.
2 and 3 for a roll for radiant damage. And that'll be the end of my turn. Or it is his turn.
Yeah.
Right.
Oof.
Ooh.
19s, man.
How high up did you fly? Okay. I have a 10-foot reach, but that works too.
Okay. Let's do the thing. I am going to. There's not a lot offensively that I can do here. I am going to. Shit. I am going to shit, apparently. It'll be a brick house.
Is that brick?
I'm going to concentrate on the asshole in front of me, and I'm just going to reach out and touch it with some shocking grasp. And as I do it, I will sing, "Reach out and touch this asshole's hand. Give him a mighty shock, if I can."
Thank you for clarifying his hand.
Nice. Delightful. And that'll be 8 lightning damage. Nice. That I believe. Let me just double check something real quick. I will look at. I will turn towards Utopia, and I will say, "Daughter of mine, rock this funky joint," and pass her a point of or a bardic inspiration as well.
Thank you.
The pearl I have, is that once per day, 24 hours? When's that? Because it's not on the character sheet still. Yeah. Okay, so we haven't passed that since it was only the one, right? So far? Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So that is a bonus action to use or full action? Okay. 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 Good to know that. I'm not going to chance that right now, though. Brother, you're not allowed to fall yet. And it's going to hurt. So he will actually take 24 points of healing. Yep.
Yikes.
As I say that, just green wisps of energy rip out of my body, leaving sores and wounds, and flying to his, healing all of his wounds that he has.
Aw.
How many times do I have to tell you not to do this?
Shut up and fight.
I am fighting.
Nope. That's me.
Okay. I'm gonna smack him again. Like, you do not make eye contact with me and then go try to bite my friend. Like, who does that?
Swing batter.
So okay, well I have to see if it hits. I'm not using my shield. Okay. Well, it says I have to roll attack first. Oh, come on! 'Cause, yeah. Yeah.
I think she should. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yay!
Also, don't you have an inspiration too? Just
Yeah, I was gonna apply. Do I apply it to the damage or to trying to hit? Oh, okay.
I thought Val's was both.
It can do both because I have the motive potential.
Yeah.
Because I'm a creation bard. It can be both. So you do the bardic inspiration on the attack roll. That same die or that same roll for the die is then applied to the damage. It also does the same thing for. There are different rules for like if it's a saving throw or if it's a skill check. There are different things that apply to that. But for attacks, it will add to both the attack roll and the damage.
So do I roll with advantage or do I?
D8.
It's the D8.
So is it?
Yeah.
So do I roll that instead of my attack?
Unless you wanted to add it to your first attack. Because you have...
I'm using it on this new attack.
Yep.
God damn!
That was a D20 though. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. You were rolling for your next attack. My bad.
Okay,
Wait, I hit him.
then I'll hold it.
I hit him twice. Yeah, I hit him twice.
I did hit him. I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, I want to hold it then. I want to hold it.
Oh. Apparently. I'm so popular. Because I'm black, isn't it? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ, wow.
It's a chocolate thing. It's a chocolate. Everybody loves chocolate. Everybody loves chocolate. All right.
Pardon?
Okay.
Oh.
Oh no! Nah, I'm back to where I was before I used my hit die.
Alright. It's just gonna be a lot of punching. Yep. Yeah.
I still
think
can't
that's
stop
involved.
thinking about that TikTok I sent Rob ages ago that was like, oh, I have a key point, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
hit 87 times.
Nice.
Nice!
No!
Smack him!
You didn't roll that as
Smack 'em.
crit damage.
Oh, didn't I? Yeah, it did.
It doesn't say crit,
Yeah, he did.
does it? Weird.
Yeah, it only
It's
let you do
1d6
critical.
for normal. Or 1d4 for normal.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah,
it says
it's-
crit next to it. That's weird.
Okay, then. Okay, I guess I'll try again.
Smack him!
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
But you still smacked him.
Take that.
Yeah,
Wait, I'm not done yet.
yeah.
I'm just gonna flurry of blows. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Yep. All coming back. Is he dead yet? Yeah, I need my second flurry of blows attack. Here we go. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. You move slower than the walls. You move slower than the walls back home.
Oh my god.
Alright. Yeah.
Nice.
Ouch.
Oh. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yee! Oh wait, can I use the thing now?
If you want to add extra damage to him, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that it's what? Plus a D
It's a D8.
D8. Yes.
Yeah, you can
Oh.
actually type a 1d8 into the damage modifier.
Yeah, there's like
when
a
it pops up.
situational bonus.
Yep. So just 1d8.
Nice.
Nice.
Woo!
You're still wearing your panties.
I'm playing Roblox with Kirsten, but I'm typing.
Don't
Nice.
fuck with friends, I keep telling you this.
Actually, I think you took the damage off the wrong gargoyle, sir.
Nice. Hi, buddy.
Rest in piss.
Passed away. He has passed away. Ahoy there.
Passed away.
Yeah.
Thanks for the bardic inspiration, Dad.
All right.
You got it, sweetie.
So I am. Are these things determined as creatures? Okay. So I'm gonna reach out and pat Big Boy on the belly, and cast Inflict Wounds.
Oh, the
At
belly
second
pats!
level.
I love the belly pats.
It's just like I cast. Fuck you.
You're a big boy. Pat him on the belly. That was almost a nat 20.
Ouch.
Le damage. No.
Nice.
God damn.
Nice.
Ooh. I said damn!
Nice. So let me check the terminology on this. Yep. So I'm going to burn my War Priest, which gives me one additional attack. So attack, and I'm going to aim for that brittle spot. Is it a -2 by your rules for a called shot?
5e rules, it's -2.
So 1d4 -2. No.
Oh!
Damn.
Oh!
Okay, so there was 1d10, and I will give you another 3.
I said damn! She said stop knowing dumb. I said
So
bitch!
another 14 for a total of 25. You thought that was painful. I'm going to end my turn. I need a DC 13 Wisdom save, good sir.
Nice. Hit him with a wisdom save. Hit him with the heat.
I like the gargoyle with the little dead symbol on him because it looks like he's wearing a little mask.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So 4 points of damage. Then I just smile as my ancestor comes in and stabs him through that arm and goes walking past. Yes.
Yeah.
That was badass.
Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die.
Nope. The 21 meets.
Cool.
I was so close to that one.
Yeah, I was really.
Oh,
hoping for
that one too.
Are you going to run away, little coward?
Okay. Oh man. They should. They absolutely should. I release my grip on the gargoyle in front of me, and I just give it like the glare. I give it like dad glare, and I go,
Oh my god.
and I whisper at it, "You know goddamn well you shouldn't have come here." And I cast Dissonant Whispers.
Period.
Yes. DC 14. Oh! Alright, well he takes half damage. So he takes 5 psychic damage, I guess.
Alright. I don't know if anybody else is hurt, but I'm going to do it anyway.
17 to 38 for me.
Apparently I am not.
So do I.
Change your plans. Fucking spell slots. Alright, I need a DC 14 wisdom save, please.
DC 14 from which one?
I'm
The
casting
big guy?
Toll the Dead on forearmed, yes.
Alright.
All else
Wisdom
fails, those
saving
can't.
through. Wisdom saving through.
Let's try for one that's not a 19. Oh.
It's a 14.
Alright. And I know there's no damage, no half damage with Toll the Dead.
No, there's not.
On a pass, still.
Yep. Alright.
That is me.
No problem. Utopia, you're up. The one in front of you is down. What are you gonna do?
Yes. Let me see. Oh.
Yeah, they're not too far away.
Oh wait, what's the maximum you can move?
30.
25? 30 feet. Okay.
It's actually determined by your racing class. So, for you,
Oh, okay.
it's 30 feet.
I'm gonna go help Dad.
You know, wander on over there.
Yep.
All right. So, what are you gonna do for your first action as you get over there?
I'm gonna swing.
Swing away, Utopia. Swing away.
When we are... Oh man!
Ah!
Did I get to swing
Robbery.
again? That's so nice. Wow,
That
thanks.
misses.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dan.
It's all good. You tried, sweetheart. You tried.
All right. That's the end of Utopia's action.
Yep.
That gargoyle is going to assessing the situation. I need you to make me a athletics roll, Val.
Me, okay. Let's see. Athletics, okay. 15.
1 second.
Actually made a decent roll that time.
Okay. And so I need to make my roll against your 15. Ability check.
Oh, you're gonna try and grapple me, ain't you? Oh!
So he made his attack roll, but he's trying to grapple you. He's not trying to injure you, so he failed his check. So you basically, he reaches out and tries to grab a hold of you, and you kind of just like bat his arms off of you.
Yeah. What'd I tell you about that? Huh?
And he was like, no, nope. And he starts flying up. You guys both get AOPs.
Woohoo! I will draw and slash in like one fluid motion from my sword.
From your sword.
Yes. And I will use my inspiration to attack with advantage.
Massive advantages.
Like, you ain't getting away. Get your ass back here. And normal damage. What? Damn. Just 2 points of piercing damage.
It's still damage. Damage is always damage. We never downplay damage.
No, I hope for more.
Okay, Utopia, what about you?
Get back here.
And no, you can't move. You can only swing. Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Because this is on the gargoyle's turn still. It's just a reaction, basically.
Oh yeah. Okay. Attack pass.
Because you're not going in your turn.
Nice.
16 actually hits.
Oh.
Roll your
Nice. Get it. Get it. Get it.
Nice.
Oh,
Fairly good.
Oh my god. Ow.
Nice.
Oh, ow. He's still moving, but oh my god, that hurt.
Oh.
All right, so that is on. So he flies up. He goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and he flies off of the edge of the roof. And then he like literally just dips below the edge of the roof.
Oh, you rotten mother! Get back here!
All right, so that is. I'm going to mark him as dead, even though he is not, because he ran. Aom, you're up.
Okay. I'm really debating just burning sprint and just jumping off the roof after. Get back here. No, I'm going to. Actually, wait. Step of the Wind. Hold up. Let me just read this real quick.
Go for it.
Uh-oh.
So if he does that, I'm gonna roll 2 con saves. Because my AoE right now is a con, and I missed that.
Oh.
Oh, shit. That's right.
Also, can I just get a marker for where exactly he jumped off the roof from, so I can see if I will make this?
Here, I'll just put him there.
I failed.
That's where he
So
went off the roof from.
that AoE will no longer be in effect.
All right. So on his turn, he won't take any damage.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's the point he flew off the edge of the roof at him.
Okay, cool. Alright. Oh, cool. I don't even need to burn Step of the Wind. Okay.
You can't use a reaction to catch him. He has 60 feet of movement, and he only used 30 feet of movement to get to the edge of the roof.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of his movement, he's not at the edge of the roof. He's 30 feet below and away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll use Step of the Wind. Or does that still not work?
To do
Because
what?
Step of the Wind is a bonus action.
Yes. But
Yeah.
it can't be done on. It can't be done on his turn. Bonuses actions can only be done in your turn.
But it is my turn.
I know, but he's already. He's not on physical space. He's flying in the air.
You'd basically be jumping off the huge observatory.
You're 5
to go
stories
to that.
up, so that's 50 feet. So that's 5d6 falling damage.
I have slow fall.
True.
My dude.
True.
It effectively removes you
You're also
from
going
combat.
to, hang on a second, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So you're going to have to make a 20-foot long jump to land on him.
There's a lot of things involved in this.
Yeah, you have the jumping ability, don't you, Rachel?
Well, so Step of the Wind allows me to use the dash action as a bonus turn, and then it doubles my jump distance. Plus, I also have the jump ratio bonus, and I'm a monk.
So, hang on one second.
I feel like this is really in my favor.
I'm just looking up.
It's like I can't let him jump up.
I'm looking at calculating jump distance, and you leap into the air equal 3 plus your strength modifier. So that's what's your strength modifier?
Nothing.
Nothing. So that's 3. Then you can double that because of the jump.
Is he able to use Dex in place of Strength?
It doesn't have that in the mechanic.
Okay.
It's not an agility test to jump. It's literally a feat of strength. You're throwing your entire body a distance. It's like you're snapping your entire body to leap forward. If you ever watch long jumpers, they're pinwheeling their legs and their arms as they fly through the air because they're trying to thrust their bodies forward. It looks graceful sometimes, but it's not really a grace thing.
So, was that meters for my jump distance?
No, it's your jump distance is. When you're standing high jump, you can jump only half that distance. Okay, so yes, it is 3 feet doubled, so it's 6 feet. And then if you have the jump ability, I think you double that again, so that's 12 feet. So you're still going to come up 6 feet short.
Damn it. Okay, fine. I'm not jumping off the roof, apparently.
Oh, so no jumping off the roof and killing yourself, because you and I are just gonna keep having this conversation over and over again.
It would have been so cool, though.
It would have been really cool, but Val would have been like, "We just had this conversation."
We did. All right.
We did.
I call you out, you call me out. Is this our relationship now?
Never ending.
All right, so what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna run over to Forearms and. Whoa.
Yo, Forearms!
It's gonna be just my smacking away, so I'm just gonna sprint up to him and just punch him on the other side of his broken sort of mid-rift.
Gotcha. Go ahead and fire away, sir.
Smack him! Smack that mother!
That hits.
Never-ending punches.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a key
Damn
point to
it.
hit him 10,000 times.
I'll
That
roll a
actually
d4
misses.
just for shits and giggles.
Shits and giggles it is. That is a definite giggle, because it's definitely not a shit. So,
Flurry of blows.
Gotcha, flurry of blows.
Yay!
Crit, crit,
Oh fuck, that was just normal. My bad.
Why is that just
I hit
normal?
the wrong thing. No, I hit the wrong thing because it asked
just roll
me.
another d6, because
Yeah.
the +3 is already added in, so you just need to roll one more d6.
Yeah.
Not bad, 13.
Yeah.
And one more. 1d4. I'm just gonna add it now. No.
Nope, that missed. Alright. Once again, punching fucking stone. Alright, so that is the end of Aeon's turn. Excuse me, that was rude. It is now over to Grompak.
So I'm gonna thrust my hand forward into the gaping hole.
Ew.
I
It's all
know,
dusty.
right?
Dusty.
My mind went somewhere else.
Settle down, Val. Settle down.
We're earning our PG-13.
Yep.
Oh, crap.
It doesn't matter. I don't
That
think
was-
an 11 hits.
No, it does not.
Glorious.
Alright.
And yeah, that'll be me.
All right. So after Grandpak, we have the four-armed beast. All right. Well, shit. Why not? He's going to attack Aeon. He swipes out with a claw. Hits.
Oh yeah, that hits.
And he does 9 points of slashing to Aeon. He's going to swipe out with a second claw. He hits.
Ooh, that was close to being a crit. I was uncomfortably close.
9 points of slashing.
Should have jumped off the roof, guys.
Third claw comes out.
Damn it, Aeon!
And it hits.
Jeez.
And he does 10 points of piercing.
Alright.
He's going to attempt to bite you.
Oh, for the love of...
Mother...
Mist Mother.
Oh, for the love of Mist Mother.
And he hits.
Oh my
Good
god.
lord.
I want everybody to know I'm dead.
And he does 12 points of piercing.
Yep.
Are you down?
I am unconscious.
Oh yeah, he's unconscious.
Cool.
Oh my god.
So with his last action, he scoops up Aeon's body. And he is going to fly. Grandpa.
No!
Is he grabbing him in one particular arm, or did he like grab him in?
He grabbed the last arm he has not attacked with, which is the arm that was basically he was holding over his stomach hole.
I'm gonna aim for that arm.
Okay. Oops, yeah, it's up there. $18 does hit.
Get him!
Now this is a called shot, yes?
Yeah. So yeah, it would have been a 16.
So that misses.
That misses.
No!
All right. So that because if it's a -2, then that misses. All right. So that takes that. So it's 10. What's his speed? Yeah. 15, 20. He flies out over the edge of the roof. He has Aeon in his hands, and he looks back over his shoulder as he's flying, and he looks. He glares at. He looks at you, Utopia, and he says, "For this one, you will surrender yourself to House Aster."
I was gonna go home anyway! What is wrong with y'all?
And then he just flies away carrying Aeon.
Fuck!
The shit!
Fuck!
Sorry, Rome, you're muted.
How far is his fly movement?
60.
Oh, we're not out of combat yet, sir.
So, let me do the math real quick. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So
He can't fly far enough to get past one of my spells.
No. I know. I'm just seeing what the range is going to be at when you fire the spell. 5, 10, 15, 30. So you can move to there. He is 15 plus 30, so it's going to be 45 foot this round. Sorry, so got it. So he's 45 foot out this round. Let's go ahead and go through the rest of the initiatives if anyone else wants to do anything. Val.
Okay.
On his turn, he's going to be 45 feet from the edge of the roof away.
Okay. All right. I am going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to move here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the follow, Seketh.
And there is going to be, with my last level 3 spell slot, a hypnotic pattern.
Shit, I hate that spell. So
you ain't going nowhere.
Hypnotic pattern. What is the statement for hypnotic pattern?
Let me pull it up real quick. I don't know why it's not coming up where I want it to. It's being a bastard.
Yes, I was about to say, because it's being a bastard.
Let's see spells. And let's see. Create a twisting pattern of colors that weave through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range.
That's all I
the
need
pattern
to know. Go right ahead.
All right.
Oh, he has to make a saving throw, that's right.
He sure does. That is going to be... Let's see. Cast a spell. Put the cube.
And DC 14 Wisdom.
Indeed.
Failed!
He is stuck, sir!
And he is stuck there for a full fucking minute, isn't he?
For a full fucking minute. It's just bright lights, just
He does get saves when people do damage to him, though, yes?
Let's see.
I think that breaks.
Yeah,
entirely.
It breaks it entirely if it's hit.
He's not going to drop me, right?
No, because he's basically just doing exactly what he was doing, except now instead of he's 45 feet out, but he's hovering 45 feet out.
All right, just want to make sure.
He's not going to do anything detrimental to himself, so he won't fall out of the air. He also won't drop whatever he's carrying. So,
all right.
Rome, what are you doing?
Sugash.
Oh, sorry, Sugash.
I know. I love you, Ray. It's fun to pick on you too.
It's the Sugash's turn.
So I am burning my bonus action for aggressive, which
Okay.
gives me double movement up to 60.
And do not worry about where the template is. It's not actually there on the roof.
Yeah. I am running right to the damn edge.
Got it.
And I'm going to cast Cure Mass Wounds, which is a 60-foot range. So...
Wait, cure mass cure wounds?
Yeah. Mass Healing Word, sorry.
Sorry, healing word. Got it.
I'm magic. Wee.
I want that on a shirt. I'm magic.
I'm magic.
I'm magic. Wee.
Aeom gets probably not much. 7 points of health back, which means you're no longer unconscious, sir.
Everyone gets 7 points of health back because you're all within 60 feet.
Aeom is my only worry because now he can punch that fucker in the face.
Yep.
Nice. Get him!
That is me. That is all I think. All I can do.
Utopia, you're up.
I mean, I can run to where Val is, but I don't know if there's much of anything else I can do.
Throw a javelin at him.
Right.
Actually, from where he is, 45 feet beyond the edge of the roof, it will be long range for the javelin, so she has disadvantage.
Damn.
Because range for javelin is 60 foot.
Could I move closer to him and then throw it?
Well, no, you can. That's if you move up to beside Val. You would be still outside 60 foot because he's 45 foot from the edge of the roof. You would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet from the edge of the roof. So that's 80 feet total distance. And 60 foot is long range.
I have a thing. Hypnotic pattern doesn't specify friendly or foe. I have to roll.
It's an insta cast, and then when it's done, it goes away. It does not affect.
Yeah. So so since you're unconscious when it was cast, you can't be affected by it.
Okay.
Because you have to be able to see, and since you're unconscious, your eyes are closed.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna try anyway.
Okay.
Because
so you can move up beside Val.
Fucking bullshit.
And then you can roll at disadvantage to hit. You're hitting the. I'm assuming you're going to hit the gargoyle and not your friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit the gigantic gargoyle and not my tiny satyr friend.
Yes.
Standing there like Leonidas, like kill me.
No, like for
roll a javelin attack at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. This is bullshit. How are you gonna kick me out and then be like surrender to House Aster? Pick. You gotta pick one.
Not one.
I mean, you picked a one.
All right, so that misses.
Oh wait, I can attack again though, right?
Yes, you have 2 attacks. So you can throw another javelin.
Fuck it.
She's all this fucking cussing, pulling towels out and throwing them. Fucking dad, goddamn son of a bitch!
We're very sorry for the civilians that are on the ground as the javelin.
Holy shit! Okay, so that hit.
Rage works.
Rage works.
Rage
Roll
works.
damage.
So say, do you sure you don't want a multi-class barbarian?
There may be some barbarian in here somewhere.
I mean, she might be giving up the freaking heirloom, so then she's not really gonna be armored anymore.
So the javelin
change
stabs
that.
into his side, and
Fuck
he
you.
basically snaps awake, and he looks around, and he sees all of you, and he just glares at you. Aeom, you're up.
Oh, great.
He may not even have realized you're awake yet.
Probably
Yeah.
doesn't yet.
Until you
Yeah.
punch him in the face.
And depending on where he's holding, you punch him in the nuts.
Called shot flurry of blows. Nut.
Yeah.
Not much.
Oh man.
I call
Speed bag,
this.
and
I
that's
call this speed bag.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, Aeom?
It's just gonna be a bunch of unarmed strikes,
Okay.
as per usual. Oh, do I still have that? Since I fell unconscious, do I still
You're
have
out
that
of
24?
range anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. Figured it was worth a check.
Doesn't matter.
Smack him!
Yes, I will.
Smack him some more!
13 doesn't hit, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna keep hitting. Just thinking of something else, but I think that's unsafe. There we go.
That definitely hits.
Just die. Damn
Ooh, woo!
You hear me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Hang on a second.
Yes.
it.
There you go. Alright, you're back. Alright, so sorry about that. So that one is 7, so that's...
Oh. I did what I could.
No problem.
Yeah, you just took 4 hits to the face from the corpse he was carrying, I'm sure.
And a javelin.
Oh, wait, shit.
What's wrong?
No, I have a Hand of Harm I could have applied to... Yeah,
Does it cost you a key point?
it does.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yep, so I will drop myself down. I only have 1 key point left, but I'm just going to add some necrotic damage to that
Roll it.
last roll.
Nice.
Yes!
Ooh!
Is he dead?
Nope.
God!
He is a big
Chunky boy.
chunky boy.
Nope.
Grandpa.
I'm keeping with the theme. I need a DC 13 Wisdom save as Grandpa just shouts, "Return!"
Ooh, get your ass back here.
I'm not
I said,
done with you.
I said, bitch.
Oh, with the nat one.
Bring your ass on back here, baby.
Come and get it. Come and get
Come
it.
on.
Right, get the fucking ass back here. Give
Is that a
us our
tear, Ray?
boy.
Is that what you
No.
were wiping away with a tear?
Nope. So on his action, he's gonna have to spend his movement to come back to the roof. That's the whole point, correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has to spend his movement to move back to the roof. Got it. So his turn starts 45 feet away and 60 feet up in the air above the ground. So the first thing he does is he takes Aeom and he football spikes him straight down.
But
Because he has to use his movement, but he can choose when he uses his movement.
I mean, he could throw him, but it doesn't matter. Aeon has slow fall.
He has slow fall.
Yeah, slow fall, but he's.
But he pitched me off the roof, didn't he?
Yeah, you're falling all the way to the ground.
But.
All right, so first off, Aeon, are you going to try and hold on to him to not get thrown off?
Yeah, you know what? I'll do that because
right.
I'd rather not be.
So let's go ahead. You're going to do an athletics check because it's basically you count as being grappled. So he's trying to throw you, which is breaking the grapple. You're trying to maintain the grapple. So you're going to do an athletics check versus his strength check.
Can't I use acrobatics? Isn't that like
no? This is a very focused mechanic.
Okay.
Grapple is based around athletics.
No, but I remember there being a thing about. I read it before. There's something about grapple, and you can use acrobatics instead.
I'll double check, making sure.
Yep.
Oh, the glories of the internet. When grappling, if you can drag, shove, blah, 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 blah.
Petty bitch.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Petty bitch.
Oh, but once you get grabbed, it's only athletics. And me trying to hold on has to be athletics.
Yep.
But I could use it to escape if I wanted to.
Yes, no, you're right. To escape you can, but you're not trying to escape.
Yeah.
You're basically trying to force him to maintain his grapple.
Yeah.
or should I say you're trying to counter grapple.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and do the ability checks.
Okay.
Like, you don't want to grapple me, but I'm going to grapple you.
Really?
Okay.
Ah!
So you're falling from 60 feet, so that's 6d6 falling damage.
Okay.
How does the slow fall affect that?
I do believe it halves the damage. Well, let me read one thing.
Like 25.
Let me read thing about slow fall.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Waddles, for the follow. I love your name, by the way.
Ooh.
Reduces any fall damage you take by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level.
So 25 for me.
Yeah.
They did take the one thing off of it that made it kind of almost not as useful. The old rules were you had to be by a wall or a surface, because basically the monk would use the surface to slow down his fall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I just use.
I think that might even be a yeah. Now you just use faith. Now you just use fucking willpower.
I have really baggy clothes and a lot of willpower.
He does that. Oh.
So you don't take any damage.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
And-
just slowly falling, baggy clothes dragging in the winds.
Oh no! You literally do the whole martial arts thing where you just tumble in the air and you out of the tumble you come into a graceful fall and you just land in a crouch.
Ooh.
Yes.
Very Matrix-esque.
Very Matrix.
Superhero landing.
Yep. You can do the superhero landing, but remember it's hard on your
Make
knees.
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That on your knees. Aeon wants to become a very old satyr, so he's not going to do a superhero.
Yeah.
All right. So then on its action, it comes back to the roof. It's standing by Sugash. It had to use its attack action to throw you down. That counts as its attack. So it has no other actions.
All right.
So that is its turn. It is
Does
now...
Stugash get an attack of opportunity for it
No,
passing?
'cause-
Oh, no, it's
because
still in the threat zone.
It didn't leave its threat zone. It does not have to leave. It doesn't have to do anything that puts itself in direct jeopardy. So it does not have to leave its threat zone. And it it obeyed the rules by coming back onto the roof.
Gotcha.
Val,
All right, then. Well, I am going to take this opportunity to
thank our sponsors.
to thank our sponsors, to kiss some babies and cast Shatter on Mr. Gargoyle.
I feel something bad happening.
I'd like to feel that DC Constitution saving throw, that DC 14, please.
Just Mr.
You're
Valentine,
gonna take damage
don't
either
feel
way.
good.
Doesn't he get disadvantage on that because he's made of stone?
You sure do.
I was just checking. Holy shit! Never
How in
mind.
the hell?
Level 19.
Fuck.
Wow, that is unheard of. He still takes half damage. He takes half damage. I'm not stressing too bad. But shit. So he takes 7 points of thunder damage.
He's still alive.
I hate him.
God,
He is a beefcake.
fuck you.
Beefcake.
And I will
Throw my father out a window for this. He can't fight back. He can't fight back. I am throwing him out a window for this shit.
Anything else?
I will turn to my daughter, and I will sing to her gently, "Let the wall come down, tremble to the ground, and let us have some peace all around." You get it, a bardic inspiration. Fuck him up, baby girl.
Fuck him up, baby girl.
Here it
Sugash, you're up.
I think I'm pretty much just down to Toll the Dead. So I need a saving throw DC 14, please.
1 second. Wisdom saving throw. Save. Normal.
You and your fucking
Fucking
19, sir.
It's my favorite number now.
Fuck.
No, 19.
He doesn't even have a good wisdom saving throw either. That's just a dice.
That's
All right.
messed up.
This dice
Are you are
I
right beside
am
him, sir?
actually moving to over here and not
Got
on
it,
the
got it,
edge,
got it,
and
got
that
it.
will be me.
All right. Queen of Thunder, Queen of Pain, it is your turn.
Smack him!
Oh, I'm smacking him. Okay,
All right, let's see it.
I demand satisfaction.
Hey guys, thank you very much for the raid, Duality Dark Side. We really
Wait,
appreciate it.
go
How you guys
ahead.
doing?
What's
We're almost-
happening?
We're coming up on the end of a combat.
Combat.
Okay, wait. So if I use smite, do I use
roll
that-
first to attack,
roll first?
and then you declare after you discover whether you hit or miss. You declare
Okay.
whether you're going to use your smite on the attack as well as your regular attack damage.
Okay.
And I want to check out one thing because you cast a spell earlier, which was
Yes.
Burning Smite.
Searing Smite, yeah.
Searing Smite.
Searing
I
Smite, yeah.
do believe that because you cast that smell,
Smell.
you cast that horrible smell. Yes,
Searing
you do.
Gargoyle.
You get so what happens on this action because you cast Searing Smite? It's a concentration spell. It's still on. So you have the 2d6 from Searing Smite plus your Warhammer damage. Plus, if you spend for another smite, like if you upcast to a 3rd level smite or a 2nd level smite, you'll get another 3d8 damage of radiant on top of that. So you will be doing the 1d10 plus the 2d6 plus the 3d8. It's a lot.
Yeah. So does
And
hit?
so
Don't
750 lend a hand. Is that advantage, sir?
Oh no, lend a hand is a bless.
What is your advantage?
Where did it go?
Do you have an advantage in one?
Yes, I do believe I had advantage. No, bless that one. Save that one. But no, let me check. I gotta look at my thing. I
All right,
haven't
well, I'll
looked in
just
so
give her
long.
the 1d4 for bless. So I'm redeeming that now.
Lend a hand is +1 to the roll.
Oh, there you go.
Save that one in particular is bless. Try again is advantage. The gods have spoken is gods have spoken is bless the entire party.
Ooh.
And Devastator is you are the finger of God. You can make one character successful attack not only crit but do max damage on that crit.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
That
I'll give you
one.
+1 and bless.
+1 and bless. And always remember the rules for cast members are you can only use those on other players.
Yep. That's straight for Utopia. So you have a,
So,
a
yeah,
base
+1 to
+1 and a
attack roll.
1d4.
And a 1d4.
Okay. So what do I do?
So first off, did you make your attack roll?
Yeah.
21.
21.
Oh, she did.
21 hits.
Okay.
So now we're on to the damage. So first off, you can roll your normal
Jesus.
versatile damage.
Okay. So I just do that first?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh shit. So that's 12 points of versatile damage. Now, roll 2d6 for the fire damage from Burning Smite.
Come on. You got this.
Jesus Christ. So that's
Okay.
23 points of damage total, because 11 for the Burning Smite. And then decide how if you want to spend for a smite. And then at what level do you want to spend the smite at?
I want second level smite.
So that's 3d8 more of radiant damage. So 3d8.
So do I cast spell or just roll 3d8?
Well, on this character sheet, you use a smite ability,
Yeah.
which is on the spell list at the very bottom, I do believe.
Mm-hmm. And it says cast spell.
I do
Yep.
believe, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's branding smite again.
Oh.
So don't worry about that. Hang on one second. Let me find it. I gotta bring the sheet up. real
How many
fast.
smites do you have?
No, she has a smite ability, and then she has smite spells. So
Yeah.
And then the ability gives you a plus
Divine
on,
Smite
on
is
your hit.
yeah. Divine Smite is down when whether it says other, and it does not have the one where you can upcast it.
No.
Oh, well, it says I can, cast it at second level.
Oh yeah, do that then. Yeah, now just roll that. There it is. Now you see how it had the other extra D8?
Yeah.
That's if they're undead. You get an extra D8 if they're undead. So that's 18 points of radiant damage, 11 points of fire damage, and 12 points of bludgeoning damage for a grand total of
You lose
41.
the 4 on that for the undead.
huh?
It rolled that extra D8. It's not an undead creature, therefore.
Yeah,
it would
it's
be
14 damage, not 18.
Oh, 14 damage. Got it. So
I
take
think
4 off of
granted
that.
the rest of it's ridiculous.
So that's 30. That's 29 points of total damage. Utopia, how would you like to do this?
I want this motherfucker obliterated.
Describe. Give me the scene. It's your scene. Describe the scene.
I want to swing right at that point where it's trying to hold itself together. I want to smash the arm that's holding it together because it doesn't get to do that shit. It touched my fucking friend. And I just want to swing up.
So
Like-
you basically come up with a baseball swing. You
Yes.
smash like its forearm is across that great big hole that Grandpa made in its side, and the hammerhead bursts into flame as you bring it around. But it's also glowing with this divine radiant energy, and there's this it looks like a comet just whipping through the sky as you bring it around the baseball swing. You smash through the arm up into the chest cavity. You blow up through the opposite shoulder, taking that arm completely off and severing the top half of the body from the lower half of the body, as the entire creature just falls back down onto the roof and just explodes in mortar. Cracks chunks of mortar and stone all over the rooftop.
And as that happens, I walk up and I go, "That's what you stepped in. That's what you slipped in, and that explains the abrasion on your palm, motherfucker."
All right, so that is going to wrap up combat, and it is 10:37.
Before we wrap, teeth and claws.
Dust and powder.
Sorry.
I mean,
It's all stone, so
It's all stone.
you might be able to find something, but you can't hang it. Well, you can tie it to the end of a string. You can use it as a fishing weight.
Yeah, I don't know that it'll make an effective weapon.
Yeah, you can probably find things that look like teeth and claws, but they're statues, so they don't. Some of them have teeth, some of them don't. It all depends on how the statue was carved. So
they were biting me and slashing
Yeah.
me with claws.
Just gumming you.
Yeah, well, there's no. Yeah, but his gums are made of stone.
Gums are made of stone.
So you know what? They should probably just make all gargoyle damage bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Guys, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you very much to Aom for fucking thwarting every chance I had to kill him.
That's my best.
Well done, sir.
It
Well
was
done.
the party who kept me alive. So. Mostly props to them, or else my unconscious body would have just fallen to its doom.
We got you, man. We got you.
So if you guys want to follow Rob, he does do cosplay on TikTok. You can find him on TikTok, and he is a wonderful little scene there, and he is going to be. We've already seen some previews of his stuff on our Discord, and
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know. His Jedi is going to be amazing. Are you going to do a Sith?
I'm not. It doesn't fit me as a person.
Explore the dark side.
I can't.
Oh! Please expect some duets, my dude.
Yes.
There will be cookies, Rob.
Yeah, I know.
It is the dark side.
But I have to deny them. To be true to myself, I have to deny the cookies.
Thank you very much for the follow, Pamela. We really appreciate it. Also, for Kingdoms of Mist, if you want to read any of the lore behind the world, and there's an extensive amount, you can go ahead and go to our Discord and join up there. We post up lore. I've actually been writing, I just haven't been posting it up. So I'm going to be posting up more lore coming up soon, probably next week. And Rob's characters and Utopia and Val and Grandpak and Sugash, all the players are in the Discord. So if you guys have any questions, we do have an Ask the Cast section. If you want to ask them anything at all, that's all there too. Milagros, how and what are you been up to? I understand you're getting ready to do some things on YouTube that seem to be spicy.
Oh my!
You can find me on my more active TikTok is Fountain Pen Friend, but you can find me pretty much everywhere else at Fountain Pen Femme. The Resident Evil Village video game has dragged me kicking and screaming back into fandom, so I'm working on fan fiction again. I'm still waiting on a new AO3 account because I refuse to let anyone see the stuff I wrote in high school. And I'm working on a script for a YouTube video where I'm analyzing Resident Evil 8 and the characters from the perspective of someone who reads a lot of Gothic literature, because there's a lot of that kind of vibe in the game. A lot of people have said like, oh, Heisenberg is like Victor Frankenstein. I'm like, nah. He's Frankenstein and his monster in one character, and that makes it really interesting. So I'm re-listening to a bunch of my favorite Gothic books: Dracula, Carmilla, Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde, all that. So I can write the script for that video. I'm super excited to be participating in fandom again. It's really fun. So
Hells yeah.
Look out for that.
Hells yeah.
I appreciate the Carmilla name drop. That's one of my favorites.
I love that novella so much. It doesn't get enough hype.
Agreed.
Excellent. And speaking of agreeing with things, Sphinx, where can folks find you currently?
I can be found on TikTok as at CircleDM, where I do a lot of D&D related content, as well as musical content. I do a bi-weekly podcast and D&D stream called Agents of the Circle, where I run a 5th edition campaign in the Eberron setting. It's all homebrew. It's a lot of fun. It's like I said, every other Friday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This Friday is a game Friday for me.
Yeah.
Also, for those who are interested and are whether or not you are in the Pacific Northwest, I am going to be a part of a panel this weekend called "Do You Want to Be a Dungeon Master?" where I basically talk and answer questions relating to how to be a fun and effective dungeon master for TTRPGs. You can find information about that at TacomaPublicLibraries.org.
Did you add that to your link tree?
I will be adding that tonight.
Excellent. There you go. And you can find all that stuff in his link tree in chat. Also, we have our amazing and incredible duo of terror and horror, Rob and Roman RJ from Rob. Well, I was looking.
You
at
already
Rob's
fell
picture.
into the dark side, sir.
Yes. Dun dun dun.
You just didn't know yet.
But they're from.
They're actually going to pick tonight. So Tomorrow morning will probably end up being Tarkov, which I haven't done in a long ass time because I feel like looking myself in the nuts. Like that.
Yeah, repeatedly.
Yeah. Though tomorrow night I do have my typical co-stream, which is not quite as exciting as RJ is going to be live on Dungeons and the Dumbasses.
Oh, you're going to Dungeons and Dumbasses?
Yeah, he is in a new campaign. You're like 3 episodes in, right?
No, we had our Session 0 starting campaign live last week, and on Twitch, it's the page is It's Rock Robster, and then on Facebook, it's Dungeons and Dumbasses. He will be streaming both.
Got it.
And then actually, sometime in the next few weeks, I think we have another campaign from RJ, which will be on OA that he is DMing.
Excellent.
I'm excited for that, and we are starting our one-shot campaign sometime soon. And I think DM Panda is actually going to help us train new players on how to make your DM cry.
Make your DM cry. Panda's staying in the seat. He's holding to it.
He's going to help run one-shots, because we're looking at doing maybe a month at a time, if not less, series of players that can come in, learn how to play D&D with a experienced DM, or anybody who wants to DM can come and learn how to play as a DM with experienced players. So the players can help teach a new DM what's the best way to look around your environment, get involved in that. You can learn in a comfortable environment without having to teach new players how to play.
Yep.
Or you can come learn with players that have played that will be there to assist an experienced DM.
All right, if you're gonna throw that out, I'm gonna throw the arena side into it.
We haven't fully discussed the arena. We do want to make an arena where players or people can just make a random character
and come and fight.
One-on-one combat, group combat. We give set regulations of these are your levels. Here's your list of equipment. Build your characters. We'll meet up once a month and just have a battle royale in an arena setting with people who want to learn their characters in combat.
Gotcha. That's a good way. It's a good way to experiment with character builds as well, ladies.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's fun, pumped music there to just have fun. And if it picks up and we get enough players, there might be merch for prizes or slots into extra games. We win a chance to have an NPC in one of our campaigns, or there's going to be a list of stuff.
That's super cool.
Excellent. That's very badass. All right, guys. And you guys can follow them at OA. The link is in the chat as well. Also, if you guys want to follow Dinner and a Game on any of our social media accounts, we just crested 12K on Facebook. I cannot be prouder. My wife is our social media director. She fucking kills it, and she makes sure that we have a decent amount of following over there. We're still trying to get more of them to come over here and watch the show, but we're very much a geek culture themed Facebook page. The show is just part of it. We do post up, we post up memes, but we also post up a lot of news and news related items for the geek community.
Still live Milagros.
Yeah, still live Milagros. And so we are basically looking to expand on that. We have a lot of stuff that's gone up recently with a lot of the information from Marvel that's come out recently, with the Doctor Strange, with the She-Hulk series that's getting ready to start. Marvel is, of course, blowing up right now. And it is going to be a pretty wild rest of the summer because the movie theaters are coming back. So
I do have one final question before we part, DM.
Yes, well.
And this is the epitome of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Did we level?
No.
Oh, come on!
I mean, we fought a lot of shit up to this point at level 5, so...
I understand I'm not leveling because I got snatched by the darkness, but like...
I'm gonna ask. Like...
It was a completely legitimate ask, and I was completely ready with a no.
Sounds about right.
But if you guys want to follow us, you can find us here at our link tree. And remember, if you guys want to support any of us, go to our link trees, go to our items, give us a follow. That is the most incredible way you can show that you appreciate the content we produce, is just giving us a follow. You don't have to do anything else. We appreciate that alone. But if you want to support any of these people, you can do what we've already posted up in our chat, which was come here, and if you have Amazon Prime, you have a free subscription to give on Twitch. We would be honored if you give it to us. But if you give it to any other creators that we love and associate with, we'll be happy with that too. Subscriptions all go to help fund us to get more equipment, to get to pay our hosting costs for all the services that we use out. We have a website, etc., and give us an opportunity to make better content by actually being able to invest a little bit in the content we create. Like all these overlays and everything we that I have here, I am not that talented. I did not make this shit. I bought it. And that came out of my pocket. So, if you guys want to help us help to build better streams for you guys, that's one way you can do it. And it's a free thing for you, and it helps us out greatly. So we appreciate that. But in the meantime, speaking of helping other people out, our sister stream, the UST show, is doing something. I have no idea because it's just listed as NA. But we're going to go throw a couple of views over to them because they have been amazing and they help us out. And a bunch of their casts are going to be on our show tomorrow night, which is Thursday, which is playing a very special game, which is called City of Mist. I know, lots of Mist stuff going on. I'm sorry. But it is a Powered by the Apocalypse-based game that is a very story-heavy situation. And it's a modern urban fantasy where everyone plays people who had gods awaken in their head. And now they're just trying to go through their everyday life while they have Apollo the sun god telling them how pathetic they are because they will not let him come out and play. And it is, one of our players has Bacchus in her head, and she is a suburban house mom.
Ooh.
Okay, but vibes. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and Lagos' character has a slightly cannibalistic Maori god in her head.
It was one time.
And the other rest of the group all eats people anyway, so she fits in.
Literally. We got a vampire, a siren.
Yep, who eats people's hearts.
A fertility goddess. Okay, she doesn't just
who may or may not eat children.
May eat children if they act up a little too much.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of scary when the avatar of Apollo and the avatar of Bacchus are like the tamest two characters. So anyway, we're going to go give UST a watch. Guys, have a very good week. I will tell you guys this much. I have had a shitty fucking week. And work has been crushing me. But this game was fucking fun. And I appreciate you all making my day better. And just putting that glow on the week. And I appreciate everyone who came out and followed this for us. We love you. We will see you next week. Same bat time. Same bat channel. Be there. Or, be somewhere else because you have other things to do. We love you guys very much. We will see you guys next week, and be careful. Take care of yourself at dinner game. We always save you a seat at the table. Take care of you so you can always join that table. We love you.
# let your players level.
Perfect fucking timing. We're out.
That was beautiful.